Now I'm actually going to be able to see the cameras.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey there, folks. Sorry about that. We are now live. So, anybody that tunes in on the streamy streams, hello, welcome.
Huzzah!
It's been a while. It's been, what, month and a half, 2 months since we ended last season, Flynt? Something like that?
Something like that.
It feels like it's been a long time, honestly, but
It feels longer.
it's been a bumpy road. But it's been a good time. Yes, today we are joined by a couple of new faces with Ted and Katie there. And we've got Fourth Horseman, who sadly can't set up his cam because he's on a bit of a toaster, but that's okay. We'll make do. And of course, we've got our guest of honor, TorchbearerGaming, in the middle there.
Yay, Torchbearer!
Because TorchbearerGaming is always with us. And yes, for you two that are new, and the others, TorchbearerGaming is kind of our mascot. He appears in almost all games on TorchbearerGaming just for the sake of it, because, well, obvious reasons. But it was actually a running gag before we even named the group. It's just something I made an NPC that was a torch, so that it was easier to put torches on people they could just carry the token with them when moving for light, because we use dynamic lighting quite heavily. And it was the easiest I just named it TorchbearerGaming randomly, and it's been a joke since. Everybody kind of clung with it, and we make a lot of fun with it.
More shall gather. More shall enter the fray.
And thank you for the host, of course.
Of course.
Alright. But yes, that said, we're going to get this show on the road. So it's in-world now, not out of game. It's been about 2 weeks since the leaky bitch burned to the ground, and Lady Negrescu died in the fire. And in the time since, the town's been ever vigilant for
More shall gather. More shall enter the fray.
Chrisu, thanks for the host as well. But it's been very vigilant ever since watching for members of the Relique de Lumine, aka a cult of sun worshippers and ancient phoenix believers. The bad guys, as we call them. They're not good people, even though they worship technically good gods. Who would have thunk? But that's part of Ashwell that you guys will all get used to. Ashwell is kind of morally grey in general, and the good guys are kind of the bad guys.
Enjoy your stay.
And thanks for the follow, Chrisu. And with that said, though, the town's been vigilant, but because of the lack of the leaky bitch and the owner being dead, they're not rebuilding the structure, it's being repurposed completely and torn down, so people were forced to start using some of the lesser-known taverns in town, and that's why the Marooned Madam has recently become quite popular. And for, the Marooned Madam, so we can get this out of the way now, is a boat. It is not a building. It is a boat that is still on the land. It's meant for it to be a big-ass river boat, made for a noble. But the noble decided they didn't want to pay for it at the last minute, so it got left half-finished. So an orc, enterprising as they were, bought it up and turned it into a tavern. / brothel. Because that's one way to make it. And it's a good motif for them, because pirates are sailors, and they love their ocean, so it's a little home away from home for the sailors in the area. But it's been picking up business lately, and some of the nobles are not quite too happy about that, because when orcs get business in your town, it's generally not good for you. Because, by nature, orcs are raiders and savages, even if they are a bit more civilized than they used to be. They're not actively trying to conquer the continent anymore. They stopped after the 100 Generations War. But things have been contentious of late because of this issue, and not to help the matter, the recent arrival of an entire crew of retinue to the region. The far western islanders have recently made landfall and come to the area. And most people don't even know what they look like until they arrived, and now everybody's like, that's a retinue? Nobody expected 9 to 10 foot tall shark people. And yeah, so the orcs and the Ritual have a long-standing blood feud because they're two gods that were brothers. One of them kind of killed the other one, left its carcass in the middle of the ocean, and it turned into an island that they got exiled to. So they have problems with each other, understandably so. So there you go, Ted, for your reference. That's you don't like orcs much, and they don't like you much. Their god killed your god, and you were forced to live on their god's on your god's carcass for the last several centuries, and you're no longer amphibious because you got cursed and turned into landfolk.
All right. Well, that is all good to know.
Serves you all right.
Tension.
But beyond that,
Just
the Lady Negrescu's daughter has recently come back to the city off of her travels and adventures throughout the land because of her mother's death, and so the nobles have also been in an uproar over that because she's trying to lay claim to lands that her mother might have let kind of go. So she's been buying up land lately, and people are not happy. But on the other end of the spectrum, the keep is all the more dangerous now. The second level has been opened of the chapel, and the chimneys now churn eternal into the day and the night, puffing black smoke into the skies from every possible angles. There's just smoke coming out of this thing all the time, filling the air with ash and soot. And it's also the thawing season, so the rivers have been rising, bringing in much more trade, which is not good influx of cash for the city. So that's one good thing that's happening in all these ocean of bad things that have been going on lately. But yeah, that's kind of the state the city's in. Everybody's worried about the Ashwell Keep, and these new foreigners that showed up, and the orcs gaining a foothold. Nobody's happy about all that, but hey, trade is booming, so that's good, at least. And now you can get cheaper whores, because you're at the orc bar instead of the other one. For those that are interested in such things. There's also been a lot of talk in the magical community for anybody that's interested in magic, because somebody recovered a scroll of ancient magic that was thought dead and has sold it to the Ordo Magistrix, and they are studying it in order to create light once more. Light has not existed since the 100 Generations War, when the gods of light and sun died. The magic was lost. So big things are happening. So, with all that out of the way, though, we're going to meet our cast for the night, which we'll start with our veteran player right off the bat, Flynt. So we'll start with you. Go ahead and do your thing.
All right, I'm Flynt. My character is Lilith Swansong. She is a human bard. And hello, lovelies. Good to see you all again because, oh, I love hanging around this here town. I've got a lot of things to do and a lot of stories to tell. But what am I up to? You'll just have to try to keep track because I don't just let anybody know that. Sure, I've let the Ordo Vellatum give me some tasks from time to time, and I find them useful and them me. But as for our formal arrangements beyond that, well, let's just say they don't have any real hold on. Meanwhile, I've got some other friends in my circle these days who I can coming to find are very useful in helping me find my goals. Some people think I'm nameless and faceless. Other times I'm a trickster. And just watch out for a sharp barb when you're least expecting. As a bard, I love song, dance, rhymes, poetry, any form of art. What I don't like are the foolish, the ignorant, the dull, people who just fail to understand what is beautiful in the world. As for madnesses, well, I've got a bunch of masks that I wear all the time. My mask tells you what my personality is, if you're paying it close enough. Maybe I'm lying, maybe I'm telling the truth, or maybe it's neither. But one thing's for sure, I'm going to get my kicks the Ashwell.
Excellent. Always good. And now we take volunteers. Who wants to go next? Uh-oh. And Zoom just died.
No.
Looks like the free meeting ended.
What the hell, Zoom?
The hell is that?
Zoom is a pay-to-use service.
I always thought it was free,
Start
to be honest.
Nope. If the person who starts it has it and pays for it. So hang on.
Oh.
Let me set one up.
Okay, thanks. That would actually... I'll just set the cams up once it's ready.
Yeah. No worries.
Alright, in that case then, not Ted, but either one of the other two, you want to go ahead and go through your intro?
I can do mine.
Alright, go ahead.
I'm Katie. I am playing Pretty Guardian Flareheart. Nobody quite knows who Pretty Guardian Flareheart truly is or where she came from, but only that she recently appeared in Hearthmore with a burning passion for saving people and getting them out of the terrors of Ashwell Keep. Whenever danger and monsters rear their ugly heads, Pretty Guardian Flareheart arrives on the scene with a flash of radiance and an adorable pose to bring light and love to the hearts of all those who call Hearthmore home. I am a stout halfling. I'm only 3 feet 1 inches tall, but I'm feisty. I've got flames for hair and reddish skin. And I like things like warm daylight, cute things, frilly things, lace, fancy things, and jewelry. I dislike darkness, farming, definitely potatoes, cleaning, cooking, sheep, swamp smells, just generally all the things that normal people would hate. And my madness, if you want to call it that, is my secret identity, which nobody can actually know that just this little old stout halfling, or I guess a little young, is actually the bringer of light and justice. But actually, I'm just a farm girl. And I found a thing, and now I have all these sweet powers.
Alright, thank you, Katie. And in chat now, in TeamSpeak, you can actually click the link to join the Zoom.
Yeah, it's in the...
Thank you, Ted. That helps a lot. I didn't actually know you needed to pay to keep it going for more than, like, half an hour.
Yeah, but if whoever you've ever joined in the past has it, that you would know any better.
Yeah, exactly.
I found out the same the hard way, so...
Alright, who wants to go next?
Again.
Alright, go for it.
Alright, so I'm Patrick. I'm playing Parviz Tidesalt. I am a veteran sailor working with trade companies, privateers for quite a long time. And being out at sea for that amount of time, I've seen way more than any sane man has, and I'm now no longer sane because of it. And that is why I drink, and I drink all the time. I like, brawling. Good fistfights always great. Drinking, company of women. I dislike the sea, and I dislike those shark people. And that's about it. I'm a orc. I'm a barbarian. I'm Path of the Drunkard.
Alright, excellent. And the last but not least, Ted.
Alright, that leaves me then. So I am Ted, and I am playing a character with a name that Axel wanted to task me with something that's so many syllables. So I'm going to shorten it to Haidar but it's like Haidar bin Fad al, and actually the Roll20 window I have cuts the rest of it off.
For reference, his full name is Haidar bin Fad al-Amina Oribi, I believe.
Yep, so Haidar. Born the son of a fisherman, Haidar spent much of his time on or near the water. Once he was of age, though, oh boy, that is a typo. So, once he was of age, bid the simple life farewell and set out to make a name for himself as a bounty hunter. In order to do so, he became the apprentice of an elder hunter and learned under his tutelage for over a decade. Once he completed his rites of passage and became a full-fledged bounty hunter, he took on an endless series of jobs, gaining prestige and renown throughout the Crimson Isles. Yet this was not enough, so he sought larger prey out by traveling the Forbidden Salt with the blessing of a blood shaman to the mainland where the enemies of his people were plentiful. I like dry air, crustaceans, hiking, fishing, a challenging hunt, and gemstones. I dislike humidity, serpents, dairy products, boats, eggs, and the smell of gas lamps. I guess just racially also orcs. And my madness is once I've chosen to do something, I will not give up, even if it risks my life, the life of others, wastes my time, or causes other problems. I guess I should have said that I'm irrational at the start there, and that I am a ranger.
Yep, and you have a friend who's a crab. A very large crab.
A very large crab pet.
And I actually did mess up your name. It is Haidar bin Fad al-Makan al-Manui. Makan al-Manui is the town you come from. It's your place of origin.
Gotcha.
I need a nickname.
Haidar. Haidar is his actual name. Bin Fad is son of Fad. It's Arabic. Go Arabic. I just noticed that the Torchcoon GIF is not moving. I'm gonna fix that. There we go. Alright, so with that aside, we come to the roleplay, because that's the most important part. That's what we're all here for, isn't it? Isn't it really, though? The roleplay. So the scene sets on the nice little barony of Hearthmore, as we see on the map here. But in particular, within Hearthmore, at the Marooned Meadow, as mentioned previously. Whatever reasons you are all here, you've all decided to converge at this location. Whether you're below deck or above deck, doesn't matter much. It's pretty busy. I mean, they've got people everywhere talking and conversing and drinking, and there's the below decks where some people are having other entertainment. Cough.
Gross.
And, but yeah, pretty general camaraderie, drinking, fun times. There's a few people that are just kind of sitting up on the upper deck, staring out at the sky and just enjoying the night's day. Because it's a bit hot, so it's a little musty down inside. Because it's summer, and the thaw has happened, so the northern waters, or the northern ice caps have melted, or the southern ice caps, sorry, we're in the southern hemisphere here, have melted and raised all of the rivers and such. So it's a little hot, but also kind of like the waters are cool, but you're not near the water right now. So what is everybody doing in this room currently? I can tell you what Parviz is doing. He's drinking.
Oh yeah.
I guess I am in disguise, not in my pretty guardian disguise, but one of my many outfits that I've acquired to blend in seamlessly. And I'm just going around, and I've kind of like inserted myself in the chaos, kind of working off the fact that they're doing so well. I've been like, yes, I'll take this drink to this table, of course. And
yeah,
just
absolutely.
going around.
Nobody will even question why there's a random small halfling girl running around with drinks, serving people.
No.
As long as they get their booze, they don't care.
Yeah. It just comes up from under the table. Hello, here's your libations. And I'm just listening around, seeing if I can pick up any news on anything I can do to stop evil and kick some booty.
Yeah, so you're just keeping an eye on everything.
Let me. So being a bounty hunter, do would I have, or would I know of? Again, would it just be observation? But to bounty contracts to take out, would I have any open? Would I? Is there like a spot or a guy or a contact that I would go to
Within the human
further
kingdom,
that?
there are two locations where you can find bounties. Those two places are the Morningstar Guild, which is a guild that is sort of loosely associated to the human god Morningstar, who is the protector of the realm god. So his people have a lot of hunts, but theirs are more specifically towards monsters and things that go bump in the night and or the day. If they're people-based hunts, you pretty much want to visit the barony. The barons people have, like the Reeve is the one actually specifically that you'd be looking for. The Reeve is basically the sheriff of the area. It's an old halfling tradition to have a member of the community who is a veteran or something of the sort appointed as Reeve, and they basically act as the head lawman of the region. Which, if you know your actual medieval history, Reeves are a real thing. They're really cool. And you should use them in your D&D games to beat up players who do stupid shit in small towns. Because in a D&D setting, most Reeves would probably be veteran adventurers.
That's usually the role of the tavern owner in a lot of my games.
Yeah, orcs too.
But all right, so that answers that question. So I guess I would just be hanging out, keeping an ear out for that kind of stuff or anything that might.
Yes, keeping your hole open.
Yeah. If there's anything, if people have gone out fishing and have brought back anything of, something that would be interesting, something out of the ordinary, stuff that might just catch me.
Of course. So yeah, go ahead for both of you to roll a perception check for me. Because both of you are actually actively trying to listen in and find out information about people in the area.
All right, that's a 22.
That is a good perception check.
Why isn't it going?
If you got to go back to the roll 20, maybe it's got the normal roll prompt.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Okay, 12. You're doing what you can. But yes, the place is bustling. There's customers of all sorts and shapes in here. You've got humans, halflings, orcs, gnolls, a couple of them in the corner in one area. Goblins are everywhere. But most of the good number of people are orcs, of course. This is an orc bar, owned by an orc woman. A very big orc woman. And there'd be a small sprinkling of hobgoblins and bugbears around as well. The goblinoid races are all very common in this setting. But mostly it's humans, halflings, orcs, and goblins. Those are the big ones. And of course, you are the only Reginald here, Hannah. You are uncomfortable with this many orcs in a room.
That's what I was kind of wondering, yes. That doesn't sound like my people are too common anywhere, let alone in a tavern surrounded by...
It's a cultural taboo among your kind to even travel on the ocean at all.
Right.
Because you're cursed by the god of the ocean.
Right.
And since you live on an island, that means you're very isolated, generally. But a group of you have showed up in town recently, with a shaman and a couple of others. And a blood trader.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they're bustling about, and the customers are all ordering their food. There's a few people. You see one kind of dodgy-eyed goblin kind of moving his way down the stairs towards the brothel area, trying not to get noticed. And the little girl is just kind of serving drinks around to people. There's one orc who is just this big pot-bellied, he's fat, but he's also, you can tell he is ripped. This guy is big in both ways. He's just plowing down drinks. He's doing a drinking contest over in one corner with a couple of the other orcs. And then there's just this one human woman that's just kind of slipping through the crowd, wearing a mask over her hooded head. Just kind of blending in despite the fact that she stands out exceptionally because her clothes are vibrant. She has the appearance of a bard or an entertainer. But she manages to somehow just kind of slip through the crowds and make her way through there without many people paying much attention to her. That or they're just so used to her that they don't care anymore. It's hard to say which. But as you're all busying yourselves about, there's a bit of an uproar in the one corner that breaks out as one of the gnolls, like, starts a fight with an orc, and they just start decking each other. And it's something to see, because, like, these are both races that are big, honking people. Like, the orc is a good 7 to 8 feet tall, and this gnoll is, like, almost that, if not more, but even though he's hunched down, and they're just beating each other. Like, no claws, no teeth, but just beating on each other. So a good old bar brawl starts to break out. Which I'm sure, Haidar, you want to make yourself not a part of as much as possible.
Yep, no, I'm not exactly the stealthiest, being the only shark person in the entire bar, but I will try to...
But you are the biggest person in the bar.
Yeah, which also helps with my let's not get me involved in this fight, because I just look like a big honking target.
So you start to like back your way towards the stairs to go above deck. Go ahead and roll me an intimidation check just to make it so nobody wants to come near you. Just look angry and not... Okay, that's not going so well.
5. Great.
What does everybody else want to do as this bar brawl starts to break out?
Well, Lilith will hop onto the bar and begin playing her violin. And
Okay, go ahead
a little
and
jig.
roll performance with your violin then. What about the little halfling girl that could?
She's just gonna sit down under the table.
That's a good
and
spot
take
to
one
be.
of the drink she was supposed to deliver, and take a sip of it and go, oh, and just watch it like a show. Admire their form.
I imagine Lilith's playing a bit of a discordant tune. She's playing quite well. Something to go... somehow she finds a way to make a violin tune go well with a bar fight. Don't ask me how, but she does.
Yakety sax.
Yakety sax.
Yeah.
Alright, that works for me.
I can't exactly imagine how that would be on a violin, but, you know.
Somehow. But eventually it all starts to calm down, and you guys all just kind of slowly filter your way upstairs as, you know, they're dealing with this problem. So you all make your way out into the thing, because with all these people fighting, it got pretty hot in there, and it's unpleasant, uncomfortable. So you decide to get some air. Even you, horseman, like, Parviz kind of staggers up to the top deck and barfs over the side of the ship, as he took a couple of gut shots.
Yeah, but he went immediately up into that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he did. He dove right in. So actually, let's see. So Parviz, you took 3 points of bludgeoning damage throughout the fight.
Nice.
Not a lot, but enough to be like, oof, my stomach. But as you guys are up on the top deck, in varying degrees of, you know, mess or not, you notice a finely clad woman coming up the gangplank to get onto the deck. In very nice, like a dress, basically. Like a very noble-looking dress, but not overtly flashy. It's black and very simple, so it looks very hot, too. And, Lilith, actually. What's your, like, I don't know, you don't have any heraldry-based stuff, do you?
No, not really.
Okay. So you notice, you can tell that she's a noble. She's wearing like a signet ring, but you don't recognize the signet offhand. She kind of stops on the deck, and you can hear the, like, ruckus going down below, and just kind of turns to the first one of you that she sees, and she's like, I assume it's not a good time to go down there, then.
Oh, only if you're interested in getting the dust swept back up on the dress.
Troublesome. Well, how about you, then? You, look like the sort who would venture into that... And she points to the mountains with all the smoke churning out of it.
Oh, the keep. Yes, I've been there many a time.
Ah, excellent. Then you are exactly the type of person I am looking for. You see, I am Lady Negrescu, daughter of the recently deceased owner of the last tavern, and I was interested in hiring a group of people to enter the keep and investigate why my mother was murdered.
Let's see. Well, we did come across a few ruffians who were responsible for the blaze. But
Oh, you were among those who defeated the people that set my mother on fire, effectively.
indeed, I was.
Then you have my thanks. That is good to hear. But yes, I am still interested in knowing if there are more of them within the keep. It is such a large structure. I can't believe that only a half dozen or so of them were in there.
Nor can I.
So I'm interested in hiring some adventurers, as it were, or mercenaries, whatever word you prefer. Matters not to me, as long as you are willing to go into the keep and do a bit of killing, if necessary. And of course, coin will be involved.
Of course. I'm sure we can put the knife to it. We find a few more willing hands.
She just kind of like, she's been saying this whole thing quite loudly enough. She's doing that very, like, noble projecting kind of voice, so everybody hears this quite easily. Is it time for a transformation scene? You duck behind a corner.
I was about to say I go to a location where I cannot be viewed.
Under a table.
Maybe even under somebody's skirt. I don't know.
I mean, it's a ship, so you actually go and you can go into the wheelhouse.
Okay, so I go into the wheelhouse and I take my key from around my neck and I hold it up, and I'm just completely emblazed as I do a cute little spin and strike a pose, and suddenly my appearance is completely changed. My skin is now red, my hair is fire, and out to nobody, I shout out, "When darkness threatens to swallow up all that is good, I am the flame that chases the shadows away. I am the sun that keeps the night at bay, protecting the innocent from terrors without. Tremble in fear, evildoers, for now you will see the fires that burn away your wicked deeds. Pretty guardian Flareheart has arrived." And then there's nobody there. I'm like, oh, okay. And I leave.
And
I come back out.
it's kind of perfect timing. Her bio is currently on the screen for viewers, so you can see that.
And then I'm just like, "Did I hear somebody's in need of assistance?" And I go,
What an odd introduction. I think that needs a little bit more rhyme and meter to it.
I'm new at, no, I'm not. I've been doing this for years, and I don't appreciate you talking down to me, madam.
How can I do anything but down to you? Half my height.
I just look around at everyone like, "Can you believe what you just said to me?" I'm like, "Whatever, lady." And I look at the other lady. I'm like, "I'm here to aid you in anything that you need."
Well, excellent. I have no problem with this. You seem capable enough. I mean, you are quite literally on fire, which is odd, but who am I to judge your fashion sense?
Thanks, it's a new look I'm toying with. I kind of like it, though. Anyway, so we're going? Are we gonna go? Wait, is there anything I should know before we go? Do I need anything?
I mean, I don't think you'd want to go with just the two of you. That seems perilous, for lack of a better word.
My head's
No,
on fire. That already seems perilous to me.
Indeed, especially with some of the people who could be following along. Let's look for some more muscle around.
Hey, someone say muscle. I'm your guy. Who you need punched?
Evildoers!
Cool. Where?
I don't know.
And this guy, as he kind of staggers up to you beleagueredly, this orc, you can smell the booze on him just from like 30 feet away practically. You can smell it. This guy is just destroyed, and yet somehow functioning, which is kind of impressive.
I reach out and I put my palm on his belly and I go, "Enhance!" and I cast prestidigitation, and there's a sudden poof of lavender that dissipates very quickly.
Smell.
I tried.
Well, now it smells like flowery booze, but flowery.
I help.
Let me ask you this, Axel. The keep. What do I know? Like, I know it's a known thing, but what would I know about it, having been relatively new to the area?
The Ashwell Keep, what is known of it is that it is ancient. It has existed since before the 100 Generations War, which is the big defining event of this world's entire history, where like the 100 Generations War is a war that nobody knows exactly how long it went on, and in the process of throughout the war and other bad things that happened during it, the elves, the dwarves, the gnomes, and several other species went extinct. Entirely. Some of them were killed on purpose. Dwarves were genocided by goblins. Some of them died for other reasons. Gnomes were more or less just enslaved by demons until they died from it. But yeah, so bad things happened during the time, and this place has existed since before, and it is believed, especially now with some of the confirmations that they've gotten since they finished the first floor, that it was once a temple to the Great Betrayer Phoenix. The god who set off, he was the spark that ignited the 100 Generations War.
Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to get a concept of, based on what I know about my character, but so no. So, you guys, as you're all shouting, casting lavender-based magic and whatnot here, this 8-foot, 9-inch tall, giant shark man and horse-sized crab will walk over to you, and as the conversation is being had about muscle and going into this keep, and he'll just kind of stand there stoically for a little bit, kind of as if he has joined your group, and then he'll just speak up and he'll be like, "Hey, I'll join. I'll go with you guys. You guys want to go? Let's go." Yeah.
His comment is very weird. Not what you expected.
Yeah.
That accent.
In my brain, it sounds like with his people, this is like the normal voice, and if they could be underwater, it would sound so badass, but it doesn't. So this is
works.
how he sounds now.
It's just Cartman.
Yeah, like a little more feminine Cartman. Yeah.
I love this.
Well, it seems you have a solid group, as it were, then. If that is palatable to you all, then I can give you some money up front to deal with expenses and such things, but I will pay you the rest as you return. And she kind of just passes, holds out a pouch to the group of you, just that you can split. And in the pouch are 4 pounds of powdered quartz. So it's a big sack of quartz. So it's powdered gemstone, which is both a spell component and worth a lot of money.
It'd be shinier if it wasn't powder, just so you know for future.
I'm quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's much more transportable in this format. I did come from quite a ways away.
Cool.
But yes, excellent, thank you. I will, once you are finished, I will be at my estate near the Baron's estate. You can it won't be hard to find, trust me. It's quite a large building. But once you've finished, one or all of you can come and make your report, and I will tell the waitstaff to be expecting you. I thank you for your services. I will pray for fair winds for you within the keep. I've heard it is quite perilous.
Indeed it is.
With that, I shall take my leave of this unpleasant structure. She kind of makes her way back down the gangplank carefully because you can tell she's not accustomed to traveling by ship at all. Even though the ship's on land, it's still uncomfortable to get onto. And with that, she leaves
Wow.
you to do your thing.
So
Oh,
who's been in this place?
I have perhaps half a dozen times.
Wow, lady, you got experience. So what's the best way to get in? Because, like, I don't know.
The North Road, of course.
There's typically the front entrance. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I like that because sneaking around is not my thing. I like to just throw the doors open and go to town, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that too.
Your voice is funny.
Man, I take a little offense to that. That's not very nice.
That's okay. This person called me short. I'm not short. I'm tall for a halfling.
Alright. So Lilith will lead the way because she's the most experienced. I mean that in every Delver, she's the most experienced Delver. Overall, at this point. She leads the way up the North Road towards the Ashwell Keep. And as you get nearer to it, you can all kind of see this now. It's like this it's a full-on keep. It is a castle sitting on top of a mountain, which the central structure that you head towards is more or less a big grand chapel with stained glass windows and just everything. But all over the entire structure, there are just chimneys sticking up out of the ceilings, or the roofs, and they're just puffing black ash and soot into the sky. 24/7. And from what you understand, it wasn't always this way. This is a pretty recent thing. It kind of got, for lack of a better word, woken up, which has ominous feelings to you. But as you approach, you get towards the front doors, and Lilith leads you through the first floor, which has been cleared at this point, past a massive statue of a giant phoenix in the central area of the floor to the stairwell to the second floor. Which is now where we will be going.
Place smokes like a regular goblin factory.
I'll have to take your word. Never been.
Never been to Goblivar.
No, I mean, I pretty much, I've traveled all over the place, fighting crime and stuff, but that's just not one of the spots I've hit up, so.
Oh, well, there's plenty of crime to fight in Goblivar. Not that anybody would care much for you doing it.
Wow. As long as you're doing good, you're doing good, am I right? And I give her like a little punch on her shin, like, hey. I just gotta
All right.
look around. I'm gonna let you go first.
Alright, you guys can all see where you are on the map?
Yep.
Alright, good. The lighting is working then. It is actually decently well lit as you go down or up to the top of the steps. You see that there is already a lit torch right here. No, none of you lit it. It was just there, and it doesn't seem to be burning down. It's just there, chilling out. But immediately, if anybody tries to remove it from the wall, you can't. It's not going nowhere.
Already another mystery.
I have one question, DM.
Mm-hmm.
Does my hair illuminate?
You do have a little bit of a light circle on it, yes. But for the most part, if for reference right now, if someone touches your hair, it's just an illusory effect. It doesn't do anything. It's purely glamour.
I love that.
But it does have an armor class, because it's part of your magical transformations form.
Really?
Your entire body has the armor class from you transforming. Which actually, on your character sheet, I don't know if I have it turned on by default. Let me find out real quick. Because you are transformed right now, you have an armor class that's just innate because of your form. Yeah, it's already on, so you have a 16 AC.
Nice.
If you get untransformed, on the gear cog on the character sheet, there's a spot where you can turn off the AC and it'll just go to your natural AC, which is very low. Because if you get de-transformed, you have no armor. You have nothing.
Okay. So don't do that. Don't die.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, question, Axel. Did we actually make it up this far without having to light our way through the first floor?
I mean, one of you could have lit a torch, but the first floor is actually quite well lit. because of all the sconces and things around the Phoenix statue.
That's true. Okay.
Yes, you all
So
crest the
unusual to
stairs,
see
including
so much lit up here already.
Hydar's good friend Kuyud, the crab.
Yeah.
He's bigger than literally all of you.
Yeah. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, let's keep this place lit up because I don't like the dark. I'm not scared or anything. I'm just not a fan. So maybe we take the torch. Or not, whatever.
If anybody wants to light a torch, just let me know. But if you light a torch, it uses one of your adventuring gear.
I will.
Alright, so Parviz just pulls out a torch. And it actually makes the most sense for Parviz because he can use it as an improvised weapon.
Yeah.
So Torch Kun joins the party.
Hooray!
Welcome! Can I get on the crab?
I mean, you could, but I don't know you that well. I just met you.
Could I get on top of you and do a sweet combo kick from above? These are things I'm literally asking you.
Well, you could try to climb Hydar, but, I mean, he probably won't like it very much.
I'm going to ask first.
Oh, you're asking him. You're actually saying this. Okay, that works.
I don't really know you. I just met you, and like, your hair is made of fire. That's scary.
It's okay, it doesn't burn
I don't
you.
want that on my head.
That's what I said in the beginning, but it's pretty cool looking, so whatever, you're lost. Whatever. Just gonna move forward. All
Yes.
looking for squares.
You guys kind of start to like make your way into the second floor, and as you look around, you can see that the structure of this entire building seems to be made out of like opalescent marble type stone, very white. Everything in here, but it's a bit dingy. It hasn't been used. There's no footprints up here at all, so the layer of dust on the ground is quite thick. So nobody's been up this far yet. You are the first group to venture onto the second floor, ever. Well, at least since it was stopped being used. Even Lilith hasn't been here yet. But as you're kind of peeking around, you can only see what you guys can see on the screen, so I can't actually tell you exactly what you can see. If you see stuff on the map, feel free to point it out and be like, what's that? Because that's how I know you can see it, because I see differently than you guys do with the dynamic lighting.
Seeing some little green and red stuff down the bottom there.
Yeah.
Are those flowers?
Those are indeed flowers growing up out of the cracks in the ground along the wall. And there's also like a little crypt area here where you can see it's not inhabited by anything, but this area definitely looks like there would be like the kind of area where you'd set a body into the wall.
Do I know what kind of flowers these are?
Go ahead and make me a nature check.
8!
No, you do not, but they're pretty. They're orange.
I like these. I'm glad that they decorated accordingly.
Lilith, you
Lilith
have an
is
idea of
also curious.
why. You know kind of why these flowers keep showing up. You've got an idea of this. Because you know that there didn't used to be flowers in the Ashwell all that often, and then you kind of accidentally did a thing on purpose.
Did a thing. Yes, she did.
And flowers just started showing up everywhere.
Lady?
The last time I found flowers in here, they were a different kind. It's happening more often. Wonder. Hmm.
Do you think there's something to pick?
I'm not sure we're ready to jump in.
Ah, fine. She just stomps forward further into the room.
But let's take one or two just in case.
Okay. I run back and I picked.
Okay, so you guys are going to pick some flowers?
Yeah.
Alright, you both get some flowers.
Yep.
How many ever what you want? I mean, there's like maybe a dozen actual flowers on that whole plant.
I take one or two, like she says, and I give her one, and then I keep one, and then when she turns around, I pick the rest of them.
Okay.
Okay, because they're pretty.
Yes.
The pretty guardian Flareheart needs pretty flowers.
And if you're lucky, I'll make you a flower crown later. I mean,
Wow, there's a thing.
a thing.
Ah. As you step forward in the light, you see the gleam of bronze, and you see a much smaller version of that same kind of phoenix bird motif statue thing you saw up on a raised platform with an altar in front of it.
Yeah, our friend the Phoenix is on altar here.
Can I investigate it?
You go ahead and step forward, look it over if you want to. You can get up on the platform if you want to. It is raised, it's like 4 foot up, but you can climb up the altar into it if you needed to.
Okay, I do that.
Alright, so you go ahead and climb up there. Nothing happens when you climb it. If you want to try and figure out what's going on with it, you can either roll me just a generic, like, investigation or religion. Either one works.
I'm equally bad at both.
Hey! I mean, you are just a kid.
9!
Hey! That's a bird god. Bird gods are bad. That's about as much as you know about religion. Like, all you remember is that gods with bird motifs are pretty much just generally bad. Nobody uses bird-like logos for anything anymore, except the Kenku, but that's kind of because they're birds.
Yeah. This is definitely a bird. I don't think it's good. But I'm not a professional, so I mean at birds. So if any of you guys are bird professionals, feel free to take another look.
At the edge of the light also, for Parviz, since you're holding the torch and just kind of looking around as they're doing this, you can see that there seems to be a painting on the wall up here.
A painting? Okay. Yeah, Harvey will get bored of looking at that statue and see painting on the wall, and he's just going to drift towards it and start examining it.
You're sitting there looking at this painting, and it's not a pleasant painting in the way of, like, it's beautifully painted, but it is macabre, thematically speaking, is the best way to describe it. It is a picture of what seems to be a mass grave with bodies burning in it. Somebody decided to paint, like, it almost looks like it's the kind you would see during, like, a plague. Just bodies piled high, and it's all set aflame. So it's just a charnel heap of bodies.
Hey, you guys see something in the corner?
Holy Toledo, there's blood!
That's pretty common.
Yeah, I know.
I love this. I know.
This is a very, very lovely place we have here. Yeah. And Parvy's just going to grab his flask and take a big swig.
Yep. Just, I need a drink. You can hear the screams in your like, you have one, basically, those, like, the generic Vietnam flashback memes. That starts to happen in Parviz's head, and he's like, I need a drink.
This blood that's here, I guess I'm pretty good at perception.
Oh yeah, you smelled it the minute you stepped up here, but it was very, like, old smelling, so it didn't alarm you instantly. It was that, like, this whole place kind of smells like blood, to be honest. But once you got up into the room, you were like, there's blood here somewhere, but it's old. Fresh blood, I would be like, that's there immediately.
Okay, cool.
Yes, this door,
Yes, it's old blood.
the door seems to be ajar, and there is blood just... And you can actually tell from the smell of it, the blood is mammalian.
It's mammalian blood. I'm sorry, I can't take myself seriously.
I can't take you seriously anymore. What is this? What is this little statue? Is it another bird or is that a dragon?
That is a gargoyle mounted on the corner. Kind of up towards the ceiling a little bit. So like, it's like a very much the standard kind of like church gargoyle you would see at any given temple that's guarding the structure. So it's just this big stone man thing with a gnarly face and wings sitting on a perch, kind of about 8 feet up in the air towards the ceiling. So kind of at eye level for Haidar.
And nothing looks... Well, I guess I'll get up close and nothing looks out of the ordinary.
And the door's ajar, and the blood seems to be smeared as if whatever was killed on the other side of the door, and then the door was pushed open. So it's got that scrape mark where the blood was pushed around by the door. But otherwise, no, like the gargoyle's covered in dust like everything else. It's all pretty normal looking, except, you know, that there's just blood on the floor randomly. That's not normal per se, but as dungeons go, it's pretty normal. Somebody didn't have a good time here.
Well, it looks like we should go through that door.
Yep. Oh, all right. Let's
You've got
go
the
punch
torch.
him.
You should probably go.
Yep. And he walks up and pushes open the door.
Yep, just a second. And let me get the light layer out of the way. There you go. Or are you going to push both doors open?
Nah, just the one.
Alright, so you shove the one door open, and the next room seems to be tiled with, like, gleaming golden, or green and blue tile. And there's another light in here.
Is it green and gold, or is it black and blue?
It's green and blue.
Not this again.
Is it just like ceramic tile?
It would actually be probably like stone tile, yeah.
Okay.
There is a little bit of a lip where you can tell that the tile is laid on top of the kind of flooring that you're already on, but it's not enough to cause any like tripping or having to step up. It's pretty flush. It's just you can tell that they laid this tile down after the fact. If that is applicable here. But you don't know that yet.
It makes me feel right at home. So comfortable with bloodstains.
And then the crab has to push its way through the door, and the door's getting open now.
Yeah.
Oh, we almost forgot your buddy.
Nah, I'll never forget him.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah, that's our dinner after we finish here tonight.
You don't want to go down this road, friend. It's not gonna end well.
That is a perfectly innocent crab. I will not let you eat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, you're growing on me. Not enough to climb on my shoulders, but you're getting there.
Okay, just let me know when I do get there, because I'd really like to do that.
Oh, goodness. Alright, so you guys are in this new hallway. You got a decent amount of light. You can kind of start to look around, but you can almost see the edge of what looks like a stairwell to the north.
It looks like there's another painting on the wall.
A couple of them, actually, on each side.
Wonder if this one is as good as the last.
As you enter the hallway, you come into the next hallway, and these paintings are like... They look like nobles or priests or very, like, uppity, like, higher-class individuals, all human. And the paintings are all painted in that one particular way where they're kind of creepy, and the eyes always kind of look like they're following you everywhere you go. So you're all kind of like, I don't like this.
That's weird. Look at it. They follow me.
And
Just keep staring back at it. Never
you all
let
kind of
it
can
go.
smell the smell of fresh foliage. Like greenery.
And that's kind of what we see at the edge there, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there's, like, you step forward a bit more into the light, and there's a literal tree. There's a literal tree growing up out of the center of the floor here, through the hallway. Just sitting there. The hallway's clearance, and as soon as you stepped in the hallway, the ceiling clearance is about 15 feet now. So there's just a tree growing up to the ceiling now. And there is another painting here again of a woman clad in, like, clerical robes, and the eyes are following you.
I feel like this is... I know that this is clearly not natural for a tree to be in the middle of a dungeon, but can I make like a nature check or
Yeah, go for it.
or something to see if...
Can I help?
Nature?
Can I help with nature? I'm proficient.
Yeah, go ahead. You can help him out. You two go up and kind of start investigating the tree.
You can roll with advantage. Roll.
Exactly.
Oop.
Well, here goes. Oh, hi.
Hey, not bad. So between the two of them, yes, you can, as far as you can tell, the tree itself is a mundane tree. How it got here is definitely not normal, especially that this is the second floor, and you didn't see it coming through the first floor. There's a tree bursting through this floor on the second floor only. And it's just here. So it was very much, you can tell it was spontaneously grown somehow with magic.
Alright, and then I will say, so this... I mean, I don't think I need to tell you that this is not natural, but it was grown spontaneously with magic. I don't know, it wasn't on the other floor. This is weird. Is this normal? I say to Lilith.
Oh, yes, absolutely normal. This house has deep roots in the community.
I like what you did there with the roots.
That was funny. Wow.
Can we get past it? Does it look
Yeah,
like
it's just a tree. It's not like the branches would actually be above all of you still, so you'd be fine to walk under it. And I actually, there we go.
I want to go up to one of the paintings, and I don't know how high up they're mounted, but I would like to take my fingers and put my fingers in the eyes.
So you kind of poke it in the eye. You gotta, you're like tippy toes, but you can kind of slap it in the eyes a little bit, and it doesn't go ow or react at all. It's a painting. It feels like a painting. It has that like texture of old paint, where it's kind of like sticky, not sticky, but like it's hot, so the paint is kind of tacky right now.
I know we were all worried, but they're not actually alive. It's just paint, so we can keep going.
I just want to say, I love the tree pack that the one person on Roll20 made, because they have shadows with just stumps and then the full trees in the exact same shape, numbered the exact same, so you can put them under each other and then move one away, and you still get a shadow, but the tree can be moved around by players and it doesn't look stupid.
That's pretty cool.
Kudos to that person.
I can't remember who made it off the top of my head, or I would say them, but yeah.
Lilith will audibly sigh quite loudly and take a posture that is scowling, though her face can't be seen. Scowling at poking the paint.
I nudged the crab and I go, party pooper.
And as you're all rounding this area, there seems to be something glowing faintly in the distance, like a slight orangish color.
I see something up ahead.
Oh, it looks shiny.
No, not that, the other thing.
Oh.
And then as soon as the light comes up here, you can see this big marble statue covered in moss.
What is it a statue of?
Just a man.
Humanoid?
Nondescript humanoid man. The kind you would see in a garden, most commonly. But as you enter the room, you kind of, this whole area seems to have that very, like, fungal, like, planty smell to it.
I sniff my flowers.
They smell like flowers, yes.
Wow!
I mean, they could smell like buds, but they don't. They smell like flowers.
think. Yes.
Alright, so who's got the torch got left behind a little bit? There we go.
Torch gun.
So now you can kind of faintly see the source of the light seems to be a cropping of strange gemstone, like a geode almost, of like crystals that are sprouting up out of the floor. And at the base of them is a pile of flower petals. And they're kind of humming faintly and glowing. It's got that like resonant sound, like somebody's rubbing glass with their finger.
Mm.
Are the same kind of petals from the flowers we got from the previous room?
No, these ones are some kind of pinkish red. They kind of look like rose petals.
It's beautiful. Somebody should touch it. Somebody touch
As someone who really likes gemstones, does this look like a type of stone I've ever seen before?
You can't identify the exact gemstone, but it's definitely valuable, from what you can tell. Like, you've seen orange gemstones before, and they sell decently well. They weren't the highest rated, but jewelry's jewelry. People like it. But as you approach it and you're kind of inspecting it to look at it, you notice that there seems to be a small humanoid figure trapped inside the stone on one of the prisms. And I mean very small, like 4 inches.
Oh my god.
There's somebody trapped in this stone.
We have to save them.
But more importantly, get the stone.
Yeah. Whatever, guy.
And of course, the other thing you notice immediately is that there's plants. More plants growing. Along the center column there seems to be more like viney growth going up the side of it, and there's moss on the floor.
Would have expected a greenhouse.
I don't know why I kind of like that.
And also there's these big like spikes protruding out of the wall that are covered in leafy growth as well.
Hey lady, do you think I'm gonna die if I touch those rocks?
Normally die when you touch rocks?
I don't know, but I never touched a rock that hummed before.
Well, if you're standing under it and it falls, then you probably will die.
Okay, so don't stand under it.
I don't know if anybody in this party has Arcana. Oh wait, Lilith probably does.
Oh yeah, well,
Okay. So if you investigate the small figure inside, don't even have to roll. Passively, you can tell it's some kind of sprite or spriggan or fairy of some sort. You can't identify which type because it's obscured by the orangish crystalline form it's trapped in, but it seems to be trapped inside, and it's probably dead.
We're too late.
I think we're too late to solve this riddle.
Because even though they're fairies, that type of fairy are lesser fae, and they do require oxygen to live.
But what I can tell is this is a fairy or sprite of some. But being trapped in this gemstone would not have.
Alright, well, we should probably try just in case, break the gemstone. Just see if maybe we can, just to say we tried, but also get the gemstones. And I'm gonna try and figure out if there's a way that I can harvest these stones. Because they also seem to throw a little bit of light, which isn't a bad thing either.
There's a couple of ways you could do it. You could just try to lever it and grab a chunk and rip it off, or you could reach into your adventuring tools and just pull out a pickaxe for a point of adventuring gear. Because you never know what's in your bag. You just spend a point and pull whatever the fuck you want out. That's how it works.
Yeah, then I'm gonna do that because I like gemstones. So.
Alright, so you reach inside and you kind of like pull out like an excavation kit, basically.
Okay.
And you start chipping off chunks of this stuff. You try to take off the piece with the fairy specifically first, like to keep it separate, or...
Yeah, I will try to do that.
Okay, so you chip off the chunk with the fairy and kind of pawn that off to one of them and then start chipping away and taking chipping off the valuables.
I will hold the fairy.
Alright. What are the other two of you going to do while he's excavating this gemstone?
Well, Lilith will scoop up a couple of those flower petals.
Alright, so you investigate the flower petals. I don't think you were in the cultist session, so you haven't seen these specific flowers before. But they are, you can definitely tell that they are rose petals, but if you want to try and roll nature, you might be able to identify more about them than just rose petals. But they are not just pink, they are pink with like little rims of like a whitish color around the edges. So they're not just common rose petals, they're definitely some kind of special breed of rose. Hey, look at that! This is a thought to be extinct breed of rose that hasn't existed since the elves died out. Because they pretty much the only places it used to grow was in the Elven Kingdom, which kind of a big chunk of it broke off and fell into the ocean during the 100 Generation War. So these are thought to have been extinct rose petals.
Interesting. Beginning to see a pattern here. Boy, am I excited by it.
Oh no, someone's dead.
Harvey's gonna just kind of get bored watching them mining and shit. He's gonna come over and see this nice statue. It's oddly colored, but good craftsmanship. And he's just gonna check out this weird statue.
There is more to the room back in the back areas if you wanted to explore it. But yeah, if you want to just check out the statue, that's also fine.
He would like to keep going on, but...
Well, I don't mean the hallway that up here, I mean back here where Lilith just went. This room is... There's like a pillar here in the center that's holding it up, but there's more beyond it.
Yeah, but he's been staying over here where they're doing things.
Yeah, because you need the light.
Carrying the light.
Alright, so Lilith, you look like you're starting to poke around out back there after you're done with the flowers. And you see that there's more flowers back here, some, like, I don't even know what kind of flowers they're, but they're purple and they're viney growthing all over, and there's some leafy stuff over here.
Are the purple flowers different than the purple ones she got last time?
They're probably the same kind. They're just common purple flowers that you can find around.
Okay.
Hyder's gonna find a lot of gemstones after this.
It's gonna be pretty sweet.
Oh, hey, Parviz.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring their torch over here? There's some more to see in this corner.
Yeah, okay. If you lot can't see, just stop what you're doing. Come over here.
Alright. In total, you can salvage 15 pounds of this stone. So you get a pretty good amount of it. You got like a sack and you just stuff it all in there. Yes, Lilith, you see back on this way, like, you've got your moss, you've got a bush over here, and there's something kind of sticking out from under the bush. Kind of wooden looking.
Oh yes, there it is.
Yeah, sticking out from under the bush seems to like what looks to be a very oversized walnut.
Is it like growing from something, or is
No, it's just sitting there on the floor, and it's about like, I'd say 4 foot, like it's like a 4-foot football size. Like it's a big walnut.
Guys, I'm pretty sure that if we crack it in half and we take the other half, if we come across a river, I can use it like a rowboat to get somewhere. Are there rivers in here?
There are rivers, not in the dungeon, but there are rivers outside.
There's no rivers in the dungeon now.
Yet.
Oh.
We did have a room that was flooded before.
Wow. Can
Do,
someone
do
open
we
it?
want this? Do we want this walnut? Do we want to leave it?
I want the walnut. I can't carry it, but I want it.
Yes, you've never seen a walnut this big, so it is definitely not natural.
I got you, little one, and Harvey's gonna go over and pick up the walnut.
When you pick up the walnut, you can hear stuff rattling around inside of it. The walnut seems to be hollow.
Crack it open.
Maybe a
Do it,
chest.
mister.
Perhaps that is somebody's chestnut.
Harvey's just gonna grin, and he's going to lift the walnut up as high as he can and just try to smash it open down on the ground.
Okay, give me a strength check.
I hope there's nothing fragile.
We'll find out. Oh yeah, that'll work. So yes, as Flynt suggested, the literal joke is that it is a chest nut.
What's in it? Unidentified horn?
10 gold piece gems, and an unidentified horn. Like a drinking and or blowing horn, you can't tell which one, but it is a horn.
It's a drinking horn.
Every horn is a horn.
Better check that the end is closed first.
Thumb, plug it up. You're good.
You got this. You seem experienced with horns. How heavy is the half of the nut?
I mean, it was hollow, so they're not very heavy. It's kind of like a turtle shell, actually, basically, if you took one half.
One sec.
This is hilarious. I want it.
Like with a half shell turtle powder.
You're gonna take both halves or just one half?
I only need one.
Alright, so you take half of the shell and just kind of stuff it in your bag.
This is hilarious because you said it was 4 feet long and I'm 3 feet.
Oh, so you're just wearing it.
Yeah, I just like got it on my back and I'm just like, all right. I'm sure this will definitely come in handy. I'm sure of it.
Was that just one half?
Yeah, I took one half.
I'm gonna take the other half.
Okay. So you each have a half of a 4-foot nut shell.
See, the half of the shell would also make a good drinking implement.
Or a shield.
That's sort of what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. Cover. I want cover. So now we're walnut buddies. So
now we'll split up the gold or the gem.
It's 9 gems, so it won't split evenly.
I just want one. I just want one shiny thing to take home to my to myself.
To your what?
To myself. I have things that I keep for myself, and I just want one. I just want.
I'll pass on the gems. I get the horn. I'm drinking out of it now.
What are you drinking?
Currently rum.
Can I try?
Oh boy.
Put
Absolutely.
alcohol next to an open flame.
It's not real.
And Parvi's gonna pull out one of his extra bottles and hand it to her.
Okay, I take just the most little of sips.
Constitution saving throw. This is Orc Grog. Alright, you are not instantly destroyed by it, but it hits you like a truck. Like, as soon as you drink it, you're like, oh! Because if you've ever had rum, it's strong tasting. Rum is an acquired taste.
That's nothing. That's nothing, but I don't want to, it's yours, so I don't want to be rude, and you can just have all of this back forever. Thank you.
So with that, I think each of you get, Haidar and Lilith get 8 gems. Because Flareheart wanted 1, and if as long as you're all amenable to him keeping the horn. And when you actually start using the horn, it is not a drinking horn, so you're literally just using it as like a straw. You're putting it in your mouth and pouring stuff into it.
Yeah, so what he does is he plugs the like end that you'd blow into, he plugs that with his thumb and just drinks it.
Oh, that works.
Like he makes it into
Or
a
he
drinking
shots it.
drinking horn just by
Yeah, I think you're going to be shotgunning.
Nice. Alright, and that seems to be all that's over in this corner other than flowers and plants. It shouldn't be here, but are for some reason.
This is a pretty nice corner. I hope other corners are like this.
And I guess Flareheart's holding on to the dead sprite inside of a gem.
Yeah, I do. Just like my little buddy. My little dead buddy.
That little dead buddy.
It doesn't fit in my my pack that I have.
Oh yeah, it's not that big.
Okay.
Like it's like a 4-inch creature, so the area around it's not even that much bigger.
Okay.
The prism's probably like 6 feet or 6 inches long at most. Haidar probably liberally chipped away to get as little gem left around the sprite as possible.
Absolutely.
It's like, I'm gonna get every piece of gemstone I can get.
And we
Alright.
didn't go north or up from here, right? There's more.
Yes, you did not go north yet. All my maps are I always orient my maps so north is up, just for the sake of it,
Great.
because yeah. And again, more paintings.
Wait for me.
Oh.
For no reason at all that anybody can ascertain, Lilith is going to start humming what seems to be sort of nursery song, lullaby.
Okay. What mask is Lilith wearing, by the way?
The new one.
Ah,
The silver.
the moon silver, or moon silver, I believe. So yeah, anybody that looks at Lilith, her mask, she tends to change masks quite frequently, but the one that she's wearing currently seems to be made of like almost liquid silver. The silver seems to shift and shimmer in the light mysteriously, keeping like there's no face to it. It's just a shimmering mass of silvery metal.
Harvey, after turning and seeing Lilith the first time with this silver mask, he just kind of, yep, not looking back at you again till you change it. Just tap me on the shoulder.
The shifting has gotten to it. Oh yeah, okay. It's like,
Reflection's not doing you well.
It's just the rolling and the shimmering. Just it's spinning too much.
one moment. I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick.
Okay.
There.
So, how about letting me climb on your back now? Any developments there?
We're like maybe halfway to that. Maybe.
Still a foot taller than me if you let me climb halfway, since we're halfway there.
I don't get it.
Okay. I'm bored. This place is boring.
Keep working at it, honey. You'll get there.
Oh, thanks. I think that's the first super nice thing you've said to me since I met you.
Oh yeah. Also, lady behind me, Lilith, mask. I have a issue. I signed up for this. You said there would be punching in faces, and there's been no punching.
Yes.
Well, there was Haidar would certainly. You could have helped Haidar punch the gems.
She has a point.
Yeah, but gems don't have a face. I can't punch the fit. You don't just punch things like that aren't faces.
Well, that statue back there, you were interested in that for a bit.
Yeah, it was okay, but I signed up for punching.
Well, things are never, ever what they appear to be.
Lady, you're
What
Maybe
you
we
pretty
should
pretty.
keep.
expect, what you least plan, what you're least likely to find.
Well, if we keep going, maybe we'll find something.
Hey, Mr. Parvis, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So the shark man won't let me climb onto his back. Can I climb onto your back?
Sure. Just
Yes!
I might have to throw you off if we get to the punching time. Just be aware. Might just have to shrug you off.
Okay, I'm ready for falling. And I'm like, but can you pick me up? Because that's like a lot of climbing.
Yeah, he goes over, just kind of grabs you by one shoulder and just lifts you up, places you on his back.
Holy crap! You can see so much from up here. This is pretty nice. It's nice to meet you.
You have? Did you just join us? I thought we met already.
Yeah, I know, but I just felt like we just reached another level in our friendship that's developing.
Oh, like the shoulder level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, before we proceed, I think that it's important that we all establish something. What our favorite colors are. Because I feel like if you know that, then you know each other pretty well. I mean, I just don't know anybody's favorite color.
Amber yellow, absolutely.
Good choice. Lilith?
Well, that's an interesting question. Most often it depends on my mood.
Nice. Adaptable. Cool. Hagar? Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people want me to. I feel like I should say like a blue, but I was looking at those gemstones that I just spent like 5 minutes chipping away at. So I'm thinking like maybe orange.
That's a pretty good color too. I know that you guys probably all think my favorite color is red, but it's pink.
I never would
So
have
just
guessed.
just less red.
Well, yeah, like a less aggressive red, because like I'm already pretty aggressive of a person, so I don't need to be liking such an aggressive color.
But you are red, so you are the aggressive color.
Huh. I never thought about that. Whatever, it's still pink.
Alright, and I am back, by the way. I'm sure you all noticed by now.
Okay. We all know each other's favorite colors now.
Important stuff.
Or do you?
Well, not you. You're ambiguous. All right. Are we going? Let's do this.
You can easily tell that looking ahead, the floor is broken.
That sucks.
Like, you can see where the stone has been broken apart, and there you can see the boards beneath. Like, there. And
Now there's some of the Ashwell I'm familiar with.
And beyond it is a doorway, which is open, so you don't have a problem with that. You could probably jump across this broken area of floor. It's just a matter of doing it without falling. There also do seem to be some plants growing up out of the hole in the floor.
Does anybody have rope?
If you're adventuring gear, you do.
Oh, sure. Can I get 50 feet of silken rope?
Yeah, you can pull out some silken rope.
I love rope. It's always so useful. I think that somebody should jump across who's good at jumping, and they should have a rope tied to them, just in case the rest of us who might not be as good at jumping, it's definitely not me, don't do so well, then they have like an anchor.
Oh, jumping. Yep, that's me. And Parvi's just going to grab the rope and charge and jump over.
Alright, give me an athletics check.
Okay.
And of course, as you can probably figure out, when you use a point of adventure gear, just mark down the amount you have currently, leave the total alone. The only thing you won't change the actual current for is madness. You only need the total.
Okay.
And for good karma and bad karma, the current and total actually do matter. Your total only ever goes up. Your total will never go down, but the current will.
Okay.
You can work off karma, but you always have that I've earned this much good or bad karma, and they don't cancel each other out.
Gotcha.
Because karma can have effects in both ways. You can use good karma to save yourself, bad karma can be used by me to make bad shit happen. Maybe eventually, if we keep streaming it, bad karma will be able to be kind of used by the audience possibly in ways.
Oh, wait, shit, I'm still on your shoulder.
Yes, you are.
The rope's going with it. This rope is useless. Alright, you run and jump and shoot. You sail right across into the doorway. And as you, you keep moving, you keep the momentum, so you kind of have to come to a halting start, and you come to stop right in front of your own reflection.
Also, the little one, she was on my shoulders.
Yes, she needs to roll me a acrobatics or athletics check to hold on. Okay, he jumps, you don't, but you've got the rope, both of you. So he gets across, you go plummeting into the ground here and break the boards and go flying through them. So you take...
I'm still holding on to the rope.
Yes, you are, but it's long enough that you're going to go down the hole.
Damn it! Okay.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall through the boards.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I, when I start to fall, use my Pact of the Key and teleport back up?
You can only teleport as, I believe, a bonus action on your turn. I think that's how it works for you. It should say what it is.
I can teleport.
Okay, so you can't then. This would be a reaction because you're already falling, so you'd have to be like, oh, Featherfall would work if you had that, but you don't, I don't believe.
Okay, I'll take this.
So you fall through the thing, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. It doesn't hurt except that you are now in pitch darkness, because you're now 30 feet down in this hole. Somehow still not on the first floor, though. You're just in a hole of darkness. And when you come to a stop, you're up against the wall, and you can feel the moss. The wall is just coated in moss, and it's very kind of damp down here.
Can I see anything from my hair?
Your hair does give you just enough illumination that you can definitely confirm that the wall is covered in moss. And spiders. Which are now crawling on you.
I'm just going to start Eldritch blasting just all around.
So you're holding the rope and start just blasting the wall to try to kill the spiders that are just all over you now. And you all hear this, what kind of sound effect does your Eldritch Blast make?
It's it starts out as a cute little tinkling sound as it leaves her, but then as soon as it impacts, it's just a huge impact. And
There's
it's
just chunks of like stone and moss flying out, like debris flying around. So you all hear her just panicking down there, and just blasts of explosions and bright flashes of sunlight, like radiance. Parviz comes to a halt in front of his own reflection as this is all happening.
is that I didn't like the
Do
dark.
do I feel like the rope being like
Oh yeah, the rope is going all over the place as she's just panic firing.
he'll after like 5-10 seconds of just like freaking out over the reflection, suddenly he's gonna turn and start pulling the rope, trying to pull her up.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't take you long at all. You easily yank her up out of there now. But she comes up to the top and stops firing as soon as she breaches the top, because she notices, but she is covered in like tiny little spiders crawling all over her.
Punch their little faces. Do it now.
They seem to be more or less harmless, but they're
Alright.
just... she's freaking out.
I'm just like jumping around. I'm like, oh, get him off, get him off, get him off, stop.
Lilith looks at Haidar and just shakes her head. Holes in the floor and spiders. That's any old day at the Ashwell.
Makes sense to me.
I start stop, dropping, and rolling.
That actually functions pretty well.
Thank God. Oh, I saw my life flash before my eyes. Thank you for pulling me out. I hug him.
he kind of pats her back and then pushes her away as he doesn't think the spiders are gone.
He's like, ew, get off. No, no spiders.
It's like having the DDs.
And I was like, okay, so my recommendation, guys, is don't fall into the hole. It's not nice down there.
Your rope is all on this side, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm
Well,
aware.
you might need to toss the rope back across.
I'm not good at throwing. Help me. And I hand it to
Well,
the big buddy.
as a seasoned sailor, I'm confident I could get this rope tossed over. And he's gonna kind of coil it up and hold on to one end of it and toss the other end over to Lilith.
Yeah, with your strength modifier, there's not even a question. It sails across and lands on Lilith practically.
Haidar, would you mind holding one end of this rope while I go across?
No, not at all. And I will hold the rope so she can get across.
Yep. Hop up on it.
Acrobatics. Because I know where this is going. Oh yeah,
Yes,
she
you
just
do.
tightrope walks across.
Alright, then that leaves me and a giant crab.
Oh shit, how's the crick?
I mean, he's pretty strong.
Probably grab walk around the edge of the room.
Yes, would that be a thing he could do, just given his size?
Oh yeah, his legs, he can literally just put them on the other sides of it and go around it.
Alright, so he goes across.
I could have just gotten on that guy's back.
You didn't ask about the crab this time. And then holding the rope, I will kind of like wrap it up a little bit, and then I'll back up and I'll take a running leap and see if I can make it across.
Okay, go ahead and roll me athletics. Hey, you easily make it across.
Alright.
Now everybody is in the other room.
And we all
did
see
it.
this mirror.
Yes, this mirror. And your crab does not seem to appear in the mirror for some reason.
Interesting.
In that case, what does appear?
Just you guys, not even the torch. You can see the mirror because it's lit up, but there's no reflection of the actual torch itself in the mirror. The reflections of each of you, though, are kind of like There's nothing specific about their appearance that unsettles you, but something just innately looking at them feels eerie and sends chills throughout you. There's just something off about the reflection.
Hmm. Can I do like Arcana check or something?
You could try that.
11.
Would you like?
Haha! I did something right.
Yay!
The mirror doesn't have any kind of like runic etchings or anything like that that would immediately tell you that it's magical. It does seem to be very old, so it's fixed right into the wall. It's not like a frame; it's actually part of the wall here. The wall just turns into a mirror for a part of it, so it seems like it could be magical. That there's nothing to tell you that it is inherently, except that certain people aren't appearing in it, which is very weird. Well, people. A crab is not appearing in it.
Yeah. So it's not the same kind of mirror that we saw before. Oh,
Doesn't seem to be, as far as you can tell. Is anybody touching the mirror?
No, but I am curious what I see to the left over here.
That is a big old brambly, nasty mess of thorns and other bad things. And you do see, you can immediately recognize here without even having to check, there are bloody footprints coming out of it.
Okay.
Well, boot prints, actually. So somebody tried to either tried to go in there or came from the other side and came out this end bleeding. Through their boots, for that matter.
Yeah, I'll point that out to everybody just so they see it.
We should just light it on fire.
That's a good idea, Luan.
Thanks.
And he's just gonna go over and set the torch to it.
Okay, so you jab at it with the torch, and it does start to catch. The viney growth does seem to be very sappy, so the fire doesn't catch very easily, but it does start to catch after a bit of holding it there, and it starts to spread through it. And it fills the whole room with kind of a stanky, sappy, burny smoke.
As I see that it's not catching that quickly, I cast Create Bonfire and I just say, Fire of Atonement!
Boof! And there's now a big magical fire in the middle of the briars.
Yeah!
I need all of you to make Constitution saves.
Shit!
yeah, thanks.
Sounds about right.
That makes me so sad that I only got a 15.
Oh, why are you
Okay.
roll like shit all the time?
So everybody except for Flareheart passes. Flareheart, you are poisoned for a minute. As the noxious fumes from this burning sap just really gets into your like lungs and stuff and just isn't letting go. So you're having a coughing fit, and it's just not. It's making everything harder.
I crawl under my half of walnut shell and wallow.
I wallow in shame.
And I would have pointed out the bloody footprints to everybody just in case they didn't see them before.
Yeah.
Are they still there now that the room is on fire?
I mean, it's smoky, so it's harder to see, but yes, there are still boot prints coming out of the thing, but ending pretty quickly afterwards. There were like 4 or 5 boot prints in a row, and then just nothing.
Okay, well, Lilith is going to step over the little shell. Tap at the mirror with her.
And of course your reflection matches you when you do this, and you tap at it, and it's solid. There's no ripple like the other mirrors that you guys have run into previously. So it doesn't seem to serve that kind of function as a portal or anything like that. But when you tap on it, you're now close enough, you're looking right at your own face. You notice the other you isn't wearing the same mask. The other you is wearing the demon mask.
Wonder, is not a portal, but perhaps a parallel dimension, some other realm where
Well,
making
no,
this
like,
adventure at the
literally
same
nobody else is paying attention to the mirror right now, so while that's happening, the reflection raises the hand that you're not raising and goes, and then snaps back in an instant, like, not even, like, there's no movement, the hand is just suddenly right back where it was before. It waves for a second, and then it's gone, and the mask kind of turns into a grin for a second, and then goes back to the same mask that you're wearing when it snaps back.
Okay, how that happened. Good to know that Mirror Me is as snarky as I am.
Well, I guess the only other way for us to really go is to the right. So I'm going to start. I'm at the edge of the torch, but I'm going to hang out over here just in case something moves this direction.
Yeah, the other area is still on fire. These things seem to be taking quite a bit of time to burn through. But as long as, Flareheart wants to keep concentrating, the bonfire will stay there.
I'll turn it off.
Okay, so the bonfire goes out, but the stuff continues to burn. They're well on fire now. It's just a very heavy thicket, so it's taken a while to burn through.
The walnut shell kind of slowly moves over to the crab and starts to kind of climb up onto the crab.
I let it happen. For now.
Alright, Parviz, you kind of squeeze around to get the light up there, and you guys find yourself in another room. Of course, the tile changed. I forgot to point that out when you got into here, but yeah. You find a small little cove with a doorway that's open down here, and another gargoyle in the corner towards the ceiling in this room. And the doorway actually has this big, silver, fancy stepway going up to it.
Holy crap, what's with all the open doors now?
Is that not normal?
Over the last several trips in, we've had nothing but locked doors and gates and traps and all sorts of tricks to get through from the next.
I'm going to inspect that gargoyle just to see. Is it pretty much the same as the other one?
Exact.
Okay.
As exact as craftsmen can get.
And he's just going to swing open this door.
It's gotta get rid of the light layers.
Harvey has yet to have a fear of doors, so he just swings and just pushes wide open.
My man, Barbie.
Again, another change of tile. In this room, you can see that there's, again, this is a smaller hall that seems to kind of constrain down in the middle here, and continue to almost an identical slot on the other side, but there does seem to be a body laying here on the ground at the next set of doors. A burned-out skeleton. Charred, practically. Kind of like the ones in the painting, actually.
Yeah, it looks like more kind of gargoyles in the corner as well.
Yep. This room seems to have quite a few gargoyles. Maybe this room is more ceremonial important or something. This is a chapel. The whole structure is a chapel, this central area that you're in, so gargoyles seem fitting, decorationally speaking. But there's many, many of them in this room, so... Huh.
I'm gonna check out these. Now, these gargoyles, they do look different, or no?
They look pretty much exactly the same as the other ones. I think I might have used a different token.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, they all pretty much look exactly the same. like I said, as far as a craftsman can get. So they're meant to be identical. There's slight imperfections and differences between each one, but for the most part, they look the same. Lilith, I'm assuming you're looking at the body.
She is
The
looking
skeleton.
at the body.
Yes, the skeleton seems to be like blackened with char, and there does seem to be some kind of like sooty markings on the floor as well around it.
And
Where whoever
any
this
other
person happened to have been, they were burned alive, it seems like.
burned alive. Any other items that weren't burned?
Nope, bone, bleached to the bone.
Whatever this poor fellow is carrying, or who he was, I
I think you might have cut yourself off there a little bit.
oh. Yeah, I don't
The last
think
thing I
we'll
heard was
ever
who he
know
was.
this was. Yeah, whoever he was, we'll never know.
Well, I guess we should keep going.
Parviz just pulls out his flask, tips it towards the skeleton, and just takes a drink.
Good man.
Am I still?
So do we want to follow through here, or do we want to try those doors where the skeleton is?
Well, that seems kind of foreboding.
Am I still poisoned?
Yes, for a little bit. It lasts a whole minute, so, I mean, you guys have only gone around one corner.
We expected some things. Okay.
It'll be done.
Okay. I'm just still a walnut turtle.
Okay, you're just gonna stay under there until you're not poisoned anymore, until you feel better?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I think we should check what's over here because it's open before we try to go through a door with a burned alive skeleton. Because I feel like if he got burned alive right there, because it didn't look like there was no footprints or anything. So maybe the door killed him.
I've heard of doors killing people before.
Lilith just stops and looks at both Haidar and Flair at the same like, doors what?
I don't know. This place is weird.
Don't look at me. I'm a walnut turtle. I go back under my shell.
You are starting to feel better now, though. You're like, you're not sitting under there going the whole time anymore. Like, every time you're between talking, you're just coughing. But it's starting to finally get out of your system, and you're starting to feel good. But you still got that lingering, like, soreness to your chest from the lungs being filled with sap.
Okay.
Oh, look, another burned body.
Top of the crustacean, and I go mush.
Still feeling good about going through the open hallway.
No, not. I feel like we should just go a different way entirely.
But hey, these doors are open,
Yeah.
so that's a plus.
That's right, more open doors.
But behind you, you hear the ominous
Uh-oh.
of two doors closing.
That's a door to the north as well, correct?
The doors that from behind you, yes.
Okay.
And then you start to hear like a cracking sound.
Oh no.
Like, does it sound like anything that we haven't heard anything like this so far?
No, not so far. It doesn't even sound distant, it sounds very close. Like the crumbling of stone.
I knew it.
It's initiative time, kids. Now to explain how we do initiative here. You're all going to roll initiative, and we're going to take an average of your guys' initiative versus theirs, and whoever wins goes first, as a whole group.
Oh yes. Oh no.
I don't know why that
Oh, I didn't click my token.
Ah,
I carried the team for once.
oof. Let me actually open up the monster page.
Man, Lilith is good at quick changes.
Boop, 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 boop. There they are.
Something tells me it's going to be a hot time in the old house tonight.
I sure love when Roll20 just decides that when I open a pop-up window, it's not going to work. And then if I close the pop-up window, it won't even let me open that thing again. I'll be refreshing my Roll20 real quick. And I need to also move the map on the... There we are.
I will be back in like 60 seconds. Just have to run to the bathroom real quick.
Go for it.
Okie doke.
Probably best to do it before the fight.
Yeah, I think I'll take a bio break too.
You know what? I'll grab a drink too.
Alright, good time for it. Everybody go ahead and grab stuff if you need to. I'm just trying to get this monster to stop misbehaving.
Everybody's gone.
Cricket, cricket.
Time for me to come out.
Booty, booty. Uh-oh. Looks like the cameras might have gotten shuffled. I'll fix it when they get back. It might fix itself. And yeah, I saw that he was saying the bios are kind of low res. There's not much I can do about that as is.
Mm-hmm.
I might change the way that they're set up later, but for now, that's what we got.
It might be that you just need to like make a bigger window for it.
I don't think it's the bigger window. I think it's just that I need to make the files differently.
Mhm.
I might just change the way they're set up entirely and just put the most important stuff like the stats and everything and just leave out the others. Alright.
Torchkun has been dead a long time. He's not moving.
Yeah, it only seems to do like one cycle and then stops, but I'm not gonna mess with it all
Yeah,
day.
fair enough.
I'm back.
Back.
Alright. So your guys' average did not beat the monsters, so that's a thing that happened.
Shocking.
Surprised they got as good of initiatives with this +0 dex, honestly. They rolled really well for initiative.
I don't know how they could have won with how well I rolled.
I mean, I know, right? But as you've all guessed by now, those gargoyles are not so much statues. They were, but they're not now. So they all start to crack and break out of the outer layer shell of like stone and kind of move, shake off the dust, and step off their little pedestals. And it's bad things time. I don't even have to move that one, so we're gonna start with this one right here. Which just shifts, drops off of its pedestal, and starts taking a swipe at... Well, I think I have multiple attacks, so probably both of you. Yes,
Do
so
I
it's gonna
have
try to
cover
claw...
from my walnut?
Yeah. Hmm?
Do I have cover from my walnut?
I mean... I guess he's attacking the nut, not really you so much this time.
That's fair. Goodbye, nut.
So here's what's happening, basically. Go ahead and roll me a strength check, Pretty Guardian Flareheart.
Oh, I'm so good at that, though.
I know, right? Not bad.
Better.
But the nut gets knocked off of the top of you and rolls across the floor a few, like 10 feet. As the thing swipes it off of you with a claw. And then it goes in to bite Parviz. Parviz's AC is higher than a 13, I'm quite sure.
Oh yeah, it's 16.
Alright, so that one misses. The next one does the same thing, cracks and breaks off of its pedestal and jumps down here, and will attack one on each of you. So it goes to bite Hydar. And doesn't hit. And swings at Lilith with its claws. And doesn't hit. These things are not going to hit things, apparently. This one takes off of its pedestal and actually swoops over towards Parviz. As a bundle of claws and teeth as it swoops down at him. And actually scores a bite hit. So Parviz, you take 3 piercing damage. And then it swings with a claw. And does... Oh! There's the hit. Does 10 points of slashing damage with its claws, though. As it scores a critical hit. Oh, did you type something wrong into the...
Yeah, so I was at 54, so 44. I've got it.
Right.
Axel. Switch the cams. Switch the cams.
On the chat? Roll20, you mean? Oh no, that's right, I forgot. I wasn't sure if they fixed themselves. No, they did not. These two are switched around. There we go.
Was mistaken for.
Alright. So that one does a number on you with that.
Oh, awesome.
This one swoops at Lilith. I would play some music, but it would probably get my audio muted, so, regrettably. 3 piercing damage. No, that doesn't hit you, never mind. Your AC is at least a 14.
15.
Alright, so it comes at you and you just duck under it and it kind of fumbles. These things don't seem like they've moved in a long time, so they're kind of fumbly. But another one comes sailing off of this and comes at the crab and pretty already in her, along with another one. And the other one. So it's going to try and bite the little tiny morsel. And miss horribly. Try to claw the tiny morsel. And hit. And do 7 slashing damage to the flare heart.
Oh.
As he claws you this time. And the other one's attacking the crab.
Oh no.
Delicious crab. 17.
Crab.
17, you say?
I don't think a 17 hits him.
That misses.
What?
Let's see. The crab has insane armor. And a 16 doesn't hit either.
AC on that crab.
He's a crab. Oh yeah, the one attacking the crab doesn't have to be there. That's fair. But the other one is flying, so it can be above the crab. Alright, and there's a couple more of them, but they can't get into the fight, so they're just going to kind of move over this way. Alright, that's them. So now it's your guys' turn. So how this works for the new people is you all act as a whole unit as a turn, but each of you does your stuff individually to a degree, but you can do, like, one of you can take a bonus action and then let other people do their actions or movement and things like that, so you can kind of set each other up a little bit more. It's tactical kind of idea. Like, if one of you wants to do a help action, you can set somebody up, then they can chime in and, like, stab somebody, and if they kill that person, you can move away without having to worry about opportunity attacks afterwards. Things like that. So you can kind of mix and match your actions between the party. But if you do an action, you have to do all of your action at once. So if you have multiple attacks, you have to do them all before the next person can do stuff. You can still move between actions, like between attacks like normal, but yeah, that's... Each action has to be completed, but you can all kind of mix and match as you go. So who wants to try to start the fight here on your end?
Oh, Harvey, the second that the things came down and started attacking, he just starts laughing and then just, all right, and just screams at it, and he's going to bonus action rage.
Yep. Alright, so Parviz is now raging.
And Lilith is going to toss Flareheart a second's move.
Oh, so, Flareheart, you have an inspiration die.
Oh, yes.
Which are, what, D8s, I believe?
D8s.
Alright.
So this, I guess this gargoyle to the north of Hydar, I will use a bonus action and use my hunter's focus to mark that.
Okay, so you mark that gargoyle. Go ahead and put something on him so I can remember. Actually, that's not a good one for it. There we go.
Nice.
So you kind of glare at it and you're like, I'm gonna kill this one.
If I may, Lilith is going to go after that same one with Vicious Mockery.
Okay. Alright, wisdom save. It does not pass, so 6 points of psychic damage.
You
has disadvantage on its next attack.
Paleolith, you can't hit a thing.
It really can't. Alright, so who wants to do something now?
So Parvi, after finishing his scream, is just going to pull back his right fist and just start slugging into the gargoyle to the east.
Alright, let's see it.
And he's gonna recklessly attack.
Good plan. So with advantage. Very nice. Alright, so you hit for sure. That's an 11. Oof.
And he's just gonna keep smashing into this.
Yeah, and I mean, you are literally punching a stone monster, so I don't think I have to explain that it doesn't feel like it's really hurting it as much as it should, but it's still cracking it. You're pounding this thing.
Yeah, that's why Parvi's not... After the first hit, he doesn't even pause, because he's just like, that's not how it's supposed to feel, gotta hit harder.
And it hits. So you smack it twice with your fists. It seems unhappy, like its face has got a couple of like cracks and chips in it where you just decked it twice in the face. That leaves Hydar and Flareheart.
Then I will two-handed trident stab this gargoyle that I have marked. Or at least I will attempt to do so. Oof.
Oof.
12 probably doesn't do it, huh?
No, that does not.
Alright, well that sucked. Then, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, because I was trying to find the document and I couldn't find it right away, that's my one attack, and then the crab makes an attack as well?
Yes, you and the crab both get an attack instead of having extra attack.
Okay, so the crab's gonna attack the same one that I'm
Yep,
fighting.
because he can do that. He's big.
17?
That hits. And he grapples it.
Right, and is it not automatically roll damage? Oh, you have to click something different to roll it.
Just in the chat box, you click, yeah, attack, and it'll roll it. Nice!
That's right.
Plus your mark damage.
Oh, what's the mark? Alright, let me grab that.
Because it goes for your pet as well. So another 5. Nice. And it is grappled, so it cannot move from that spot.
Alright. That's it for me.
So that leaves nobody but the prettiest guardian.
So instead of trying to get rid of the people around her, she's gonna help a buddy, and she will kind of do like a little twirl and then point at the one that they're all attacking across the way, and say "Radiant Flare" and shoot off 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Okay. Both targeting the same one?
Yep.
So the one that Hydar's beating up on, right?
Yes.
Alright, first one misses.
I assume that.
Second one hits. Oof.
11.
And you're all kind of like, there's a moment of like, as she just brilliant beams of light come blasting out of her hand. And scorch the wall behind the thing as well as the thing itself. Alright.
Diva.
I believe that's all of you. Next, we go back to the gargoyles, which they don't even need to move because they're already in position. And one of them can. So, trying to bite Lilith. Does a 14 hit it, Lilith?
No.
Okay, so trying to claw. Nope. Next one's on Parviz. What is Parviz's AC, by the way? Just for...
16.
Okay, yeah, that's right, he's tough. 19 con will do that. Second one hits, so another 8 slashing. Which for you, of course, is halved. The next one, we'll try to bite the crab and claw the crab. The crab is just gonna be invincible against these. Oh, one of them actually hit it. 6 slashing to the crab. They have to roll really good. Akuya takes 6.
Alright, I don't think I can track it on his sheet, so...
You can just click his token, and there's a 39 on it. You can just hit -6, and it'll do the math.
Cool.
And... oh no, Pretty Guardian Flareheart, take 5. And another 3. That one hit with you both attacks on you that time.
Not like this.
Parviz, oh, that's a botch. I'll add a die to the naughty dice bin for the enemies. And another miss, so... that's all of them. A whole 3 hits out of the entire round. Oh wait, no, I didn't attack with the one that is grapple. It's not going to try to break the grapple. Its target's right there.
Well, and then he's got disadvantage.
Grapple does... I don't think grapple gives you a disadvantage on attacks.
But it's the same one that we all ganged up.
Oh, you gave it disadvantage with...
I gave it disadvantage with the Vicious Mockery.
Okay, so let me make one more roll for this attack and see which one it... okay, it definitely missed with its bite. But, what's Hydar's AC?
A big 12.
Okay, so you got hit with the claws and take 7.
Got it.
That's them. So it's back to you guys. So these things are basically just kind of like hovering and flapping and kind of clawing and biting at you guys with its stone wings. But you don't really get the how a stone monster flies, but it does somehow. Monsters don't make sense.
This whole don't make sense.
True that.
That is truth.
Does anyone want to go first? I got something that I want to do.
No, I'm good. Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna look around and I'm gonna be like, sorry, and I'm just gonna teleport 25 feet away because I'm like right in the middle of this shit.
All right, back to the key. So go ahead and place yourself anywhere within 45 feet.
45? I thought it was 25.
Or 25, yeah, sorry.
I was like, oh man, this is sick. I'm gonna land right on a dead body.
Yay!
And then there's a like a little duplicate of me still standing where I am. Well, where I was.
Oh yeah, that's right. I will have to make a token for the duplicate. I forgot about that. But yes, there is a illusory duplicate of her standing on top of the crab still.
Very cool. I'm gonna stab that guy that we've been fighting. That's my plan.
Okay, go for it.
Well, attempt to, as we saw last time.
Stabby,
Yes.
stabby.
As is the statement I always make. You can try. Oof. With a +7. Come on, bruh.
I know, man. This is not good. All right, I'm taking a break. Somebody else do something.
All right, Parvi, he's going to again swing at this gargoyle, and assuming that its head doesn't break off, he's going to also try to grab it.
Okay, so you're gonna grapple it first or punch it first? Which one?
Punch it first,
right.
because I have which one is it?
Yeah, that'll do it.
I have an ability that if I make
Oh,
an
your
attack,
feet, right.
I can, yeah,
You can grapple as a bonus action, I believe.
yeah, as long as I make a unarmed attack.
Alright. Hey, critical. Alright, it is not dead, though, so you can go ahead and try to grapple it, which is a
Alright,
strength
yep.
athletics check.
Yep, which, because I'm raging, I have advantage on, I believe.
Correct. Let's see if it can beat you. It probably won't. It totally did. It rolled a crit. Or it wouldn't have. Got a 22.
All right, so what I had done was, so I had punched it and I had like turned my back towards it, trying to grab hold of its neck, and when it kind of slithered its head away, I'm just going to bring fist back up right into like the snout.
Alright. That one misses. Well, misses / doesn't have enough impact.
Yeah, trying to be cool and not look at the target doesn't usually work.
Especially when you have an eye patch. Your depth perception's already not great.
But he looks super cool.
He does. I love the image that I found for Parviz because he's so jowly.
He's so great. I love him.
I just want to stick my hands up on his jowls and just
Perfect. Okay, so that leaves Lilith and the crab.
Yeah.
And if
Well,
Flareheart has a bonus action, that too.
I don't really know what I can do.
Lilith is gonna go after the same one she's been doing. This guy got.
Alright.
And she's gonna plant a dissonant whisper on him.
Ooh. Alright. Let's see. Alright, DC 15. Oh, it takes 9 points of psychic damage. Must immediately use its speed.
Attacks of opportunity.
Yep, that's gonna happen. It has a fly speed of 60.
Alright, so we get the tax of opportunity, I guess?
Yep, you and Kuya can both do it if you want to both use your reactions.
Yeah.
It did pass my square as well.
It passed pretty much all of you except for Flatheart. So, in order you guys can do it, but Ted's like, ah!
Well, there goes that 10, missing again. How about a crit?
Oh, Mr. It's not moving anymore.
Yes.
Oh wait, it couldn't move.
You're right, yeah, it couldn't.
It was grappled. It has a speed of 0. My bad. I forgot all about that.
Oh. His next move was to attack it anyway.
Yeah, but you did some decent psychic damage to it, so that's the thing.
Oh, actually, I forgot. I also have movement, so I'm going to move further than this.
Okay.
So
Unless you want to just change the target, Flynn.
Yes.
Alright, so you want to just Dissonant Whisper the other one on you?
No, this dissonant whisper, the one next to Parviz that he was trying to.
Okay, the one that he's been grappling. Alright, it's now more injured, and it flies as far away from you as it can. So it's like trying to scramble through this doorway, but it's pinned between the two doors.
And do Parviz and
Yep,
Adar
Parviz,
get their attacks on that?
you can do that, and so can... Well, the two of you can, yeah. If you want to try to attack that one as it flees instead.
I'm just gonna, because this is the nature of things, we'll just say I did with my 10 that I missed before, but I was gonna have Kuya attack that guy that he has grappled anyway. So if that works,
Cool.
I'll take that crit that he had.
Kuya didn't have reach to that one, sadly.
No,
time.
I meant the one that he's currently attacking.
Yeah.
That he's got grappled. But he's if I crit, does the mark damage doubles too, right?
Yep, it is dice, so.
Alright, so that is 19 points.
Hanging by a sliver of stone.
It is definitely not looking hot. Like, the crab's just crushing it in its pincher claws.
Get him!
Like, I can pretty much tell you that it's probably dead next turn if he keeps up.
Nice.
Kuyod keeps crushing it, it'll die. Alright, with that, so Parviz, did you want to swing at the one that ran away from you instead this time?
Yeah, I was just gonna use the
Okay, so you missed that.
because it was.
They're big stony people. That's what they do. Alright, with that then, I think that's everything. Unless Lilith wants to hand out another inspiration.
And you know she does. She just watched Hydar whiff on his stabby, and she's gonna give him a little bit of inspiration.
Alright, so Hydar gets an inspiration die. Maybe next time, buddy. I can't believe with a +7 you're rolling that badly.
It's because it's all funneled to the crab.
The crab is so good.
Yeah, he's the real hero here.
You're kind of a skill monkey, though. Alright, so that's that. So the gargoyles are back. Oh no. I think Dissonant Whisper is just an immediate runaway and then they're fine. If I remember correctly. Yeah. So once it's done running it, it's done. But anyways, starting with this one. Wait. That one hits for 3 points of piercing. And then botches, so another bad dive for the getting taken out of the box. If there were any in it, this would be really bad. I don't think there are, though. It's for you new players. The naughty dice bin is the thing we do. Whenever a player botches, we add a dive to the bin. If it reaches 10, it flushes, and everybody currently playing gets a good karma point. Whenever I botch as the DM, one die gets taken out of it.
Gotcha.
So basically, if you're botching a lot more than me, it'll benefit whatever party just happens to get lucky enough that it flushes when they're there. It's happened twice in the first season, that's it. There were so many botches in the last episode. Just so many. Alright, more attacks. This one is going to try to bite the crab this time because it's getting crushed to death and it's not happy about it. And it just utterly fails. Crab tank is confirmed. Oh, that one hits the crab with a crit, so he takes 11.
Damn it.
That one misses. This one's target is gone, so it's going to just float over to Parviz here. Or no, first thing it does is it attacks the clone and kills it. The illusionary clone, it swipes through it and it just kind of shimmers out of existence. Then it flies forward to attack Parviz. Because the double lasts until her next turn or until it takes a hit. Then it attacks Parviz and hits for 7. Slashing damage. And another hit on Parviz for 3. So 2 after you half it. And round up. And there's only the one that ran away left, and oh no. Oof, 5 points to Pretty Guardian Fireheart as it bites her. You ran over here, and this one ran away with you, and it was like, oh, crap. And then another crit. Wow, there are a lot of crits today. For 10.
I'm gonna die.
This is so a total of 15 damage.
Yeah.
That's them. They're now done.
Okay.
That's a thing.
Well, that sucked.
Who wants to do what?
So seeing the gargoyle that he's been trying to kill start attacking the little one, he's just going to charge at it.
Okay, so
He'll take the opportunity attacks, but he is going to kill that thing.
alright. That one hits. Let's see if the second one hits. That one hits, so you take a total of... Well, you take 5 and then 7, as they both bite you as you run away. Okay, so you're gonna start walloping this thing?
Oh yeah.
Lay into it.
All right. So gonna going for breaking its head again first.
Mm-hmm. That hits. Nice.
And then he's going to try to grab hold of its neck again.
Okay, athletics check, just like last time. And unless it crits, it's going to fail against you. It failed this time, so you have grappled it now.
All right. And now, as I have its neck held up over my shoulder, I'm just going to straight up wrestling move and power bomb down, trying to break its neck on my shoulder.
Okay, go ahead and make another attack. Hits. Oof. And that finishes it. So you smash it down to the ground and it just crumbles to pieces.
My hero.
And then he just kind of stands up.
I'm gonna stab this thing.
That's a good call.
Try. The operative word.
Yeah. Maybe? Hopefully? We can't all be barbarians. Regrettably.
Okay, I'm gonna use my bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come
Oh
on!
my god!
Well, 13, I assume, misses.
Yes.
That tall shark man is the least imposing figure.
You kind of like, you stab at it with your trident and it just skids across the, like, the stone skin of this thing.
Yep, that's what happens. Alright, then it's crab time.
Crabbing time.
I was trying to make a pun with clobbering time and it didn't work. Nope, okay. So it's not just me.
Just not having the rolls today.
Nope, that's it, I think.
Alright, so Lilith and the Flareheart.
I will sidestep a little bit so I can get to everyone I want to. And I'm going to try to hit.
Alright, and that one okay.
Glittering incineration! And I'm going to shoot out a scorching ray at the three of them.
Okay, so the one by Lilith, the one down here. Which other one? Okay, so the three of them that haven't been hit yet. Okay. That one didn't hit.
Oh my god.
That one hits.
Aha! I think that I should get, because I can cast everything up to 3rd level, so I think I get an extra d6 too, but it didn't ask me if I want to cast it 3rd level.
Okay, so you go ahead and roll a d6. The 4 points. Okay, and the last one?
We get a die to the naughty dice bin.
Yes, you do.
Oh my god. I don't want to use that. I don't think my bardic inspiration is gonna quite do it. So I'm gonna miss again and suck shit.
You could just throw a fireball, it's fine.
I don't want to hit everyone else. They're innocents.
Oh, if you only knew.
Like Lilith, maybe the crab, but that's it.
Oh, the crab is the purest being of us all.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, he's really like I'm really his pet at this point in the combat.
Alright, so Lilith.
Lilith is going to try one more time to finish off that one next to her.
As I say, don't forget you have a new spell as well.
I know about the new spell.
Yes.
And I plan to use it, don't worry. But not on the one right next to me.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
That would be bad. So, yeah, another vicious mockery on him.
Oh, yes, you can. You are a half-light. Reroll that one.
Sorry.
Alright, so let me get the wisdom save out then. It passes now. Of course it passes now.
Yeah.
When it would die if it didn't.
And another inspiration to Hadar, saying, "Come on, you can do it."
I'm trying.
Alright, so you can reroll that because you are a halfling, and we forgot halfling luck is a great thing.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I've never played halfling. Okay, here I go. Wish me luck.
So the dice bin doesn't get a naughty die because that naughty die was rerolled, but hey, you hit.
True.
So, another 4 points of damage to that one.
Well, that was the...
Pew pew pew. Alright.
And it's super sparkly.
Bonus action, Lilith?
With
Oh,
her
I got
bonus, she
inspiration,
gave inspiration to Hadar. Which actually might have sounded less like you can do it and more like you're going to end up in one of my next comedy routines if you don't shape up.
That's fair.
He's just like, he's resigned to it. He's like, oh man.
Yeah, if he had things that involved DCs rather than attack rolls, he'd be all about that right now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Alright, Haidar, you take 3 points of piercing as the one that you're trying to kill bites you. And Parviz takes another 7 slashing. And otherwise, they missed entirely.
Wait, who moved up to me?
Oh, this one over here. I forgot to move it before I did, but yeah, this one moved over to you.
Oh,
All right, and you said 7?
the crab.
Oh yeah, the crab can attack it.
Attack of opportunity.
I
Yeah.
forgot. He might not actually attack you at all. Because if Kuyud hits him, he gets grappled.
15.
That hits. So he does get grappled. He can't move away.
Well, why does it keep
MVP.
clicking twice? But 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
Gotcha.
He can't move, so I guess he has to try to attack Kuyud instead.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And he misses.
Yeah, crab tank is tank.
Yes, he is. Alright, that's it for them. He doesn't have a lot of HP, but he's a tank. Never underestimate an 18 AC and a bounded accuracy system.
Everybody missed.
Gargoyles, I gotta say, the Monster Manual gargoyles are pretty shit. +4 to hit on a CR2, not so good. Don't do that.
Just the resistances.
Yeah, it's what makes them high CR. Which is why they're taking so long to kill.
Alright, here we go. This is it, guys. This is
I
the
believe
time.
in you.
Son of a... Okay, Bardic Inspiration. Don't roll a 1 this time. Here we go.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Got him.
15?
Yes!
Yeah! Woo! 6 points plus mark damage. So 10 points.
He is dead.
Finally. Yes! Finally.
You did it.
And hey, your mark's dead.
Fine. Yeah, I know. I still have a bonus action. So, I'm gonna mark that guy. Does anybody else want to do anything?
No.
Yeah, the gargoyle that Harvey just killed, is there like a larger chunk of the stone, like of its stone that broke off?
Yeah, like you could take the central body of it, basically, like
Okay.
the bigger part of it, and just heft it as a two-handed weapon.
All right, yeah. So he's going to drop the torch, pick up the body, and just charge over to the one by Lilith.
Okay.
And smash it.
Roll me an improvised weapon attack. This will do 1d8 bludgeoning damage if it hits. And guess what? It's also a magical weapon. It's a magical improvised weapon because it's a gargoyle body.
Amazing. That's perfect.
Oh god, yeah, that hits.
And I add my proficiency to improvise as well, right?
All of them, yep.
Okay.
It's already added. Alright, so 12 points of bludgeoning damage. You just smash it with its friend.
Yeah, I'm a smash it again.
Yep. And you can try to grapple it as well, but you have... Well, you can't because you're using a two-handed weapon.
Yeah.
That hits though.
I'm grappling his friend still.
Technically, yes, you are. Oof.
That's nice.
That worked well. It's not dead, but you beat the crap out of this thing with itself. Oh, with its buddies. Like, you guys see this, you see him just pick up, like, the body and rush over the other one, and then you don't see him at all, you just see a shower of, like, debris as he's just beating this thing with it. And both rocks are breaking as he's doing it. Right.
I'm going to point towards the one he's beating the shit out of, and I'm going to say, Radiant Flare Part 2! And send out another Eldritch Blast, 2 Eldritch Blasts over at him.
Alright.
19.
Hits.
5 damage.
Alright, second attack. Ooh,
And a crit.
definitely hits. Another 12.
Damage.
Nice.
He's still up?
Yep.
Shit.
But it is scorched as you blast it with a sunny, light radiant death.
Okay. I'm going to look over and I'm going to say, only those pure of heart can walk through the flames of justice untouched. And that's my turn.
Perfect.
How's your con, Hadar?
My con?
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Okay. Lilith is going to unleash one of her new spells. Going to launch Shatter.
I forgot to put this one down.
Right at the back side of the crab there. So hopefully he's got a good con too.
So it'll hit 2 gargoyles in the crab. It's a 10-foot, right?
10 foot.
So like right, yeah. Okay. So yeah, 3 gargoyles, Hydar, and the crab.
Right.
Let's see it. I don't know. What's the DC 15?
It is a DC 15.
Okay. Ooh. And not one of them passes, so 22 points of thunder damage each.
Well, that's it for the crab.
No.
21, so I'm going to take 11 points.
You had exactly 22 HP on Kuyud. Oops.
Exactly 22 hit points.
Oh no!
So Kuyud is down.
Is down. And the guy he's grappling is no longer grappled.
Of course. Oof. That was over half of their HP though in one blast for some of them. It's like, ooh. They are all not looking great. And of course, because it's Shatter, you know, it works all that much better. Even though they're not objects, like, it hurts. Yes. How does Shatter work for Lilith? Is it like, what kind of sound is it?
It sounds kind of like a screeching on the high string of the, a high E note.
Okay. So musical.
That ends ends with the sound of the string breaking.
Ooh, I like that. That's nice. Alright, so I think that just leaves Hydar. Oh, did you?
No, I attacked.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It would have been...
Kuyud would have attacked, but he's unconscious now.
Unconscious.
Alright, so that's everybody for that. Kuyud is not really a valid target anymore. Sadly for you.
Yeah, no. Does he just die? Does he make death saves? How's that work?
He will make death saves.
So should he have made one for his turn? Or would that be next turn?
It'll be next turn. You don't do it on the turn you go down.
Gotcha, okay.
But he will get a lingering injury. So you might have to get him treated.
Fair enough.
Alright, let's see if these gargoyles can do anything this round. Hey, one of them hits Lilith for 7. One of them hits Hydar for 3. Luckily, Hydar has a buttload of HP. To go with his really low AC.
Yeah.
Another 5 for you, Hydar, from your target. And then the last one is attacking Parviz. So Parviz, take 14. 2 7s.
Oof.
That's rough. Which one did that?
The one that's right here.
Okay.
You're like, now I know who to kill. And that's them.
Lilith feels bad about the crab going down, so she's going to inspire Hadar again.
Okay.
Thank you. My only friend is gone.
And I'll need a death save for Hideout for Kuyu as well.
Oh, is it our turn?
Yep, it's got your guys' turn now.
Alright, can you make... Is it just a d20, right? Because he doesn't
Yeah, it's just a
have
d20 roll. Passed.
11. That's one.
Yep.
Okay. Having seen my crab buddy go down, he's my friend now too. You didn't, approve of the friendship, but it was there. Pretty Guardian Flareheart's hair is going to glow all that brighter, and she's gonna be like, "Enough, death!" And she's gonna take a key that's hanging around her neck and like hold it up, and she's gonna go, "Radiant fire immolation!" and just try to get these two over here without hitting anyone else.
Okay. So, you're chucking it far enough away that it's going to only hit them. So you're only going to be able to hit these two if you're doing fireball, which is what I think you're doing. Oh, can't hear you.
Because I don't know how long we're gonna play, and I want to do it at least once. So.
Okay, but Kuyud will get a failure because he is in the area of effect, even though he's unconscious.
Oh really? I thought I was hitting it just like the edge of the one.
He's large.
No, I don't want to do that.
Like they're underneath him, or they're above him flying.
Well, can't I cast it up in the air so that it wouldn't reach down?
The room's not big enough to compensate for a fireball.
Oh no, my moment.
It's okay.
You just boiled the crab a little, it's fine.
Fine. I'm still just gonna do it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it. Or, yeah, there, DC 14, okay. Why did I close the monster page? You're probably going to kill these gargoyles now. Because their dexterity is rightfully awful. One of them passes, though. Both of them pass. Oh my god. How do you pass with +1 or +0s, guys? Those rolls. Okay, but they still take half damage, so 27 radiant damage.
Are you telling me I didn't even kill these assholes? This place is terrible.
Yes, it is.
Such language. I love it.
You did kill one of them.
Okay.
The one that was marked by Haidar is now dead.
As the one falls, she just gets this dark look behind her eyes, and she goes, "Let the flames of radiant justice purify your pathetic bodies." And that's me. That's my turn.
Obviously, the one that you didn't succeed to kill must be their boss. Because unless he was like some kind of boss monster, there's no way he could possibly survive your ultimate attack.
So she's just like, looks at that one, she says that, and then she looks over at the other one that's still alive, and just all of a sudden the darkness behind her eyes is gone, and she's like, "What? My ultimate attack didn't work? What is this beast?" And she's just shocked to her core.
So Parviz is going to take the just block of torso of the first one and turn on the one that just slashed his back up and is just going to start smashing in its face.
Okay. Hits. This is what barbarians do, kids. Oof.
That's nice.
Hits, and it's dead.
Nice.
What is that,
And
like
then
27 points of damage, yeah.
Yeah, and then just snarling, he just turns back to the one that he had been attacking.
Okay. And at this point, you actually you have to replace your last slab because it's about half the size it was as you smash the one to death, and you just pick up the other one's torso
Yeah.
with your free grapple. Alright, so that leaves Hydar.
How do potions work?
Bonus action.
Bonus action?
On
How
yourself.
about to feed it to a crab?
That would be an action.
I'm gonna feed my crab a potion.
Alright.
So that's 2d4 plus 2.
Correct. Which, of course, consumes the potion. But that's obvious.
He's got 5 hit points.
Double rolled again. Always take the first one. 9.
Yeah, I don't know why he keeps double rolling. Is that
I don't know. Must be a latency thing on your end or something. I don't know.
Do we all have potions?
Everybody has one potion to start.
What? I didn't know that.
It's on the sidebar down the right. There's a bunch of, like, resource stuff, and the potion is in there. Because it's easier to keep track of that way, in my opinion.
So then, and it's only when I attack he can attack, correct?
Yes, if you make an attack action, he does as well.
Okay, and then I will use my bonus action to mark the one that's in front of me, or to the west of me. And that's it for me.
Yeah, and Kuyud kind of gets up and just kind of scuttles out from underneath this thing a little bit, so he's on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Alright, I believe that leaves just Lilith.
Yes.
So you've got a problem right in front of you.
Yep. Problem right in front of me. So we are going to viciously mock
Okay.
that guy.
Oh.
She will insult his stone parentage.
Oof.
Being
Rude.
a dubious sandstone.
Scalding. Alright, 6 points of psychic damage. It rolled a 1, so it definitely failed. So it has disadvantage, and it's not looking good at all. This thing is crumbling. Physically and emotionally. Alright, so that's all of you. So it's on to them. There's only the 2 left. That's not what I wanted to roll. So, Hydar, you take 13. This thing just lays into you. And Lilith, you take 9 from a crit. And Parviz, you take 6. It claws you. That's them. They're kind of like just cravenly attacking despite the fact that they're both practically dead. There's no real intelligence behind those eyes. They're just monsters.
Yeah, very similarly, Parvy has no real thought going on right now as he's raging, and he just wants to turn this last one in front of him into dust. Just gonna smash it.
One attack's unless you roll really badly, you're gonna get this thing. Oh, there it is. You missed. But you didn't the second time. And it's dead. So Hydar, there's only the one left.
Here goes.
You got this.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yay!
Yeah, that's good. And mark damage?
Is that...
Oof.
Alright,
and then Kuyud.
down somewhere.
Alright.
You can do it, Kuyud. I believe in you. That kills it.
Double roll, but 12, yeah, and then mark damage, so he's got it. Yeah.
And the enemies the last of them crumble.
Ow, that really hurt.
For a moment, Flareheart is just standing there, just like aghast, still staring at the one that got away. And then
Yes.
she snaps out of it.
Out of character for the amusement factor. Flareheart's background is Chuny. If her ultimate attack, quote-unquote, fails to kill something or defeat it, she has to spend her next round just going, but how?
But what?
So she actually can't take any actions this turn.
She just kind of falls to her knees dramatically. She goes, I'm glad you all made it through this perilous battle. And then she just looks down at her key around her neck, just still flummoxed, and ignores everything else going on around her.
Ba-da-da-da. 675 experience apiece.
Yay! I didn't die.
Nice. So I love playing Parviz. He's so fun.
I'm glad to hear it. Like, I love the character when I made him, so I was like, somebody's gonna have fun bashing things with whatever they can.
Could you repeat that, please?
Hmm?
The XP?
Oh, 675.
Thank you.
And with that, the way is open. The enemies are dead. You're a little beaten, battered, for the most part, but you all survived.
See, Parviz, I told you there'd be punching.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and he spits out just a whole bunch of teeth and blood. That you did. That was a good brawl.
Pretty Guardian Flareheart finally snaps out of it and runs over to Parvis, and she's like, you saved me, Parvis! You're my best friend now. I will let you be my sidekick.
Yeah.
Don't say anything, it's fine. And she hugs him.
No spiders this time.
It's true.
Yeah, he lets the hug go on for about 2 seconds longer before pushing her away.
Don't worry, we'll break down those walls eventually, buddy. So that being said, I'm tired. Can we take a little rest?
You could take a short rest, or you could continue the next room.
Rest.
Thoughts? Opinions?
I vote for sleep.
Alright.
For resting.
For record's sake, you guys are taking a short rest for sake of there's nothing else after this. You can heal, it doesn't matter. So we're just gonna you finished your rest, you're fine now. You're not fully health, but you're better than you were, and you can continue on. There's only just the next room, and then you guys are done with it.
Oh, okay, cool. Alright.
That works out.
Let's go, team.
But you move into this next room, and it looks like, you can say, like, this looks like a cloister, like a worship chamber. Even with, it's complete with, like, winged humanoid figures of statues in the areas. And you notice that this one right here, it looks like it's supposed to be holding something in its hands, but whatever it's supposed to be clutching is missing. Like, it's got its hands out in, like, a motion like it's supposed to be holding, like, a bouquet of flowers or something to that shape, but it's gone.
I put the flowers I found earlier in its hand.
Okay, it doesn't do anything.
I take my flowers back.
And again, the next room you enter, and there's this big winged statue here that looks like is holding its hand out like this, and there's no weapon in its hand. Also, the crab just moved on top of it.
Seems somebody forgot all the decorations in this room.
There's a pixie. Or some other sort of creature like that floating right here. As you float into the room, they notice you and they're like, they kind of squeak a little bit.
Hey, are you okay? We found another little guy like you earlier, and it was too late, but I took him so that we could lay him to rest properly. So, are you, hi. I'm pretty guardian Fireheart.
Okay. The thing is just kind of like sitting there for a minute, like, it tried to do the freeze and they won't notice you thing, and then when it was like, you definitely noticed me down. It just kind of, you found, And the thing has, like, you expected this very squeaky, like, no, it's got a pretty normal voice, like, despite that. Fairies are weird like that. They're like, oh, you found my sister, yes, she was encased in that crystal to... I honestly don't know exactly what they were doing, like, what the princess was doing, but they said that she needed to be put in the crystal for something, and now she is. I guess that's what we do, like, unnecessary sacrifices for the greater good.
Wait, there's
Princess?
a princess?
Oh yeah, the arisen princess. And for you, Lilith, you're like, wait a minute.
Lilith's jaw just drops open.
Yeah, because what was it the last time? Awoken prince?
Yeah.
And now there's an arisen princess?
Well, my sister, she's, not where she was supposed to be if she was supposed to stay there for that unnecessary sacrifice or thing.
I just left her there because it didn't feel right to try to remove her, and also because I'm tiny and I really couldn't, even if I wanted to.
Well, I'm pretty large, so I was able to remove her. So if there's, anything that you would like to do with her respectfully, I'd be happy to aid you.
Literally the only creature in existence that she might actually be able to say, well, I'm pretty large.
That's why it's so great.
Perfect. And also, like, I imagine when you did the hair thing, it was like she literally does, like, with her fire hair.
Yeah. So if there's anything I can assist you with these bulging biceps of mine, I'd be glad to.
Oh, you freed her from the stone?
Well, kind of. She's kind of in a chunk, I'll be real with you. But I got the chunk. I retrieved the chunk.
I would be grateful if you would leave her with me so I can return her home.
Okay. And I set her down.
Okay. And the thing kind of just like nervously is looking at the others like, it's gonna eat me, isn't it?
Oh, they're cool.
And it looks at the mask, like, Flynt, you are wearing the no expression. Okay, it doesn't look at the mask, it looks through the mask at you, basically, is what you kind of get that feeling, like, you don't like it, the way it looks at you, because Fae are bad. Also, you're human, and humans have very much taboos about Fae. Like, for the rest of you, for history reasons, the group that Lilith is a member of, sort of in a roundabout way, the Ordo Velatum, they're called the Order of the Veil, quite literally, and that tradition began because they wanted to hide their true faces from Fae. So they're a group of wizards who a tradition began as a practical thing of, you don't know who the hell I am, because Fae are bad. Well, in their opinion. Like, when you're a magic user, you want to beware of Fae. Just as a general rule.
Yeah, don't show your true face, don't show your name.
Makes sense.
But, I was just told to wait here until the princess returned, it's been a while. I think she might be busy. I heard some screams from the other direction before. So she's probably really busy. I mean, flaying people alive is pretty hard work.
You... what?
I mean, they are bad people, but they had like she flays them alive and uses them to paint things on the walls. I don't know why she paints the walls with blood, but she does sometimes. I watched her paint the floor one time. She wrote this really big message on the floor downstairs.
What did it say?
The way is open.
Yeah, I remember that. These people she slayed, were they you know, sort of dressed in the garb of the ancient enemy?
Some of them might have been. There was all kinds of things. There was like this group of really furry people. I don't know what you guys call them, but they're like big and furry and teeth, lots of teeth. There were some of those. They tried to eat me, so she killed them horribly. It was pretty gruesome, honestly. Like I would have just let them off with a warning, but the princess is pretty like strict about these kind of things. I think it's because she was asleep for so long and she's pretty grouchy.
Yes, she was asleep for quite a long.
I mean, if they're bad people, they're bad people.
All the new players are just out of the loop.
Oh, totally.
This ties back to Lilith accidentally doing a thing on purpose and bringing an ancient dead species back to life.
Yeah, Parvi like tuned out after the flay alive and paint the walls. He checked out of that all of the pixies words.
But it's okay
He's
because
back to drinking from his flask.
the bad people served as fertilizer for the good plants.
Oh, is that all
Well,
the flowers?
that's comforting.
But you don't seem like bad people, so I don't think she'd kill you. Probably, maybe, hopefully.
I'm the best. So I'm not worried.
What's up with those statues?
Oh, the 3 statues? They're the key to the way forward.
Oh. Are we supposed to find things that they're supposed to have and then put them in the things?
I think that's kind of the idea, yeah. But they're all over the place in this place, and like, I don't know who put them there. The place seems to change a lot. It's weird. Even to me, like, Arcadia changes all the time, but this place is just, like, I feel like it's alive sometimes. It honestly kind of spooks me. But I can't leave because the princess kind of bound me to her.
I hate puzzles. This is stupid. Why can't they just open the door and let us do
Well, it's not really a puzzle for you have to worry about because you're not going to find them in this room. Like, it's definitely something that, like, it's going to take time because they're, like I said, they're all over the place. And all the doors like to lock and unlock themselves all over. Nobody can unlock them, even me. Magic doesn't work. It's really weird.
No? You want to come with us if you have to stay in this place and then you can help us point out things?
I would, but I was told to stay here by the princess, and if I don't do what she says, she might, like, paint me on the walls, and I don't really want to be paint.
That's fair.
Being paint doesn't seem like a lot of fun, really, honestly.
Yeah, we saw some pretty creepy paintings. I don't think those were blood paintings, but paint, not good in my book, starting today.
But right now, like, the princess is off having a meeting, so she's busy.
Oh, can we meet her later if she's done with her meeting?
Oh, I'm sure she plans to meet you eventually.
But what will I wear? Well, nice talking to you. She just starts walking back around the rooms.
It's like, I'm done with the shit.
Yes, I think we've got things covered here. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't want to talk to her at all anymore? Pretty good?
Well, I mean, she's gonna be there. She can't leave. Change her mind.
Well, for now, yes.
What's up with this last statue here?
The third statue, the first one was the one missing the piece in its item, the other had a hand. And the third one is actually missing one of its wings. Even though I can't represent that on the thing, one of the wings is broken off. seems to be missing.
So, flower, sword, and wing.
Well, flowers or whatever goes in the hands. I just used the bouquet of flowers as an example. That's the kind of motion that's got him, like, it's holding some kind of conical
Maybe
object.
flower, sword, and wings.
Yeah.
But from what you from what you gathered from the fair, yes. If you gather all 3 items and place them on the statues, it opens something. Maybe a way forward. This place does have another upper area. The ceiling, I believe. But with that, it looks like you are at the end of your journey. You have some information to go back with. Nothing particularly pertaining to the people that killed her grandmother, but more of the mysteries of this place are unraveling to you. And more of them are being created because weird things are happening.
We could at least claim that the princess of the keep has been flaying whoever it was.
From the way it was sounded, like, both people that have been in here trying to use the place as a hideout and other adventurers. Like, you guys aren't the only people that ever delve into this place. People are delving in here constantly.
Nope.
Knowles like to send groups in quite frequently, and they get murdered a lot.
Well, I kind of thought I was going to find more treasure, guys, but I guess this is okay.
You got that chestnut.
My God, walnut! I run back into the other room and I grab it and I come back.
Alright, so you guys will make your way back out now?
Mm-hmm.
After you retrieve your walnut?
Yeah.
Okay, so you make your way back to town. We'll just, whoop, transition. Make your way out pretty safely. Like, you have to deal with jumping back over that thing to get your way back out. But when you get back through, like, the thorn bramble thing is burned down to nothingness, but the door beyond it was locked, wouldn't open.
Gotcha.
So you make your way back to town and go and report on what you had, and she pays you each 25 coin. For your trouble.
Wow. I mean, chump change.
Alright, so yeah, that pretty much wraps us up for our first session of Season 2.
25 gold, to be precise.
Correct, each.
Gotcha.
On top of the quartz powder that you can split from before.
And my 15 pounds of orange gemstone.
Yes, indeed, and your gems that you got from the chest.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got some good stuff. Some gemstones, some gold, some weird shells. A horn that you don't know what it does until you get it identified, yeah. Like now, for when we get back to vendoring again, Parviz has a reason to go to the Ordo Magistrates.
What do you mean do things? It transfers liquid.
I mean, it can do that, but it can also do magic shit. Alright, so on that, I think that's pretty much the quest part of the session done. We wrapped up. So, how'd you like it, guys? For the new folks.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I was a little more weary of things, and then it all came together at the end there. So definitely was anticipating more stuff jumping out at me earlier on.
I know, right? I was playing characters who would just touch things because I'm like, this is how I'm gonna die. But it worked out.
I mean, you got beat up, but none of you died. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Which reminds me, I'm gonna roll on this table real quick. Or Mr. Krabby. Ooh.
Missing an eyeball.
That's okay. Still got one little thing.
You popped his eyeball out of his head with just sound.
Yep. It actually probably popped his eye at the ball itself.
Oh, yeah.
Sonics will do that.
Mm-hmm.
Once
Poor
we get
Kuyud.
out, all of a sudden, Flareheart whispers to Parvy, and she's like, "If you ever need me, light a pyre." And then she dashes away, and then turns back into her normal form.
Rushes back to the farm because it's getting dark.
He kind of, as she's leaving, he kind of like puts up a finger to try to stop her, and like, I have to lay people to rest too often. You don't want to just go off that.
She she's just gonna show up and like, where's the danger?
You're just burning bodies. You're like, oh.
Oh, well, I mean, do you want to go get a drink after? Because, I mean,
Always.
respectfully, okay.
That was fun though. Like I enjoyed the characters. You guys played them all well. I loved the randomness of Hydar's voice. I did not expect you to do that. That was great.
That was beautiful.
I knew. I figured that was the one thing I knew from the second I picked this character was he was gonna be like that.
It's good.
For whatever reason, that one episode of Family Guy where they're like Jaws 18, Fire Island, and it's just like the two guys swimming and there's the Jaws. He's like, I ate a chubby kid for dinner. Well, I don't know. Maybe I can have I'm gonna eat that hairy leg, and he just pops up and eats the guy, and that just influenced my whole concept of him.
Excellent.
It was good though. So with that out of the way, I think everybody gains 1 good karma for completing a quest. So you have that now. And just like this is season 2, we're gonna probably try to do this at least once a month, 1 session a month. Players can that's the whole way this flows. Everybody kind of goes in and out whenever they're available to play. If you guys want to keep playing in sessions, just keep speaking up when we do scheduling stuff in the channel. But on that note, we'll go through and introduce all of our players, and you can plug your stuff if you want to do that, and just all that stuff at the end for the ones that want to. So if you want to, Ted, go for it.
All right. Well, hello everyone. My name is Ted. I run a channel and social media and all the stuff for Nerd Immersion. You can see my Twitter handle there at the bottom of the screen. But we are a Twitch channel, YouTube, and all that. Videos covering on our YouTube things from reviewing Dungeon Master Guild things, Unearthed Arcana reviews, bunch of playthroughs, D&D intro stuff, you name it, it's there, convention coverage and whatnot. I do 3 streams a week. 1 is an alternating every other Monday and pre-written campaign world of either Rise of Tiamat, which Katie / Lazy Mermaiden, who is to my right, plays in, alternating with the Princess of the Apocalypse campaign, set in the same shared universe. Tuesday is my homebrew campaign, which features most of Axel's homebrew classes that he's made are featured in there pretty heavily. And then I build pop culture characters on Wednesdays. So next up is Dream from Sandman Chronicles is the next character, so that'll be interesting.
Alright, just keep down the line. So Katie?
Hi, I'm Katie, aka Lazy Mermaiden on social media. I am pretty much on Nerd Immersion. I'm going to be playing on Monday Tiefling Circle of Dreams Druid, who is not as feisty but equally adorable as Flareheart. And you should come check it out. It's pretty fun.
And if either one of the other two of you wanted to say something, go ahead, but I know you guys don't do as much stuff with that, as far as I know at least.
Yeah, I have nothing to plug. My name's Patrick. Been part of the server and really enjoy playing this.
And I'm Flynt, and I think I'll go ahead and throw a shout out, or rather a book recommendation for sci-fi and historical fiction buffs. A book I just finished by Neil Stevenson and Nicole Gillard called Dodo, Rise and Fall of Dodo. It's quite the romp, and it's kind of hard to pin down as to what it's actually going to be until you get all the way. Take a look, check that out.
It's a good, sounds interesting. Dodos. Yeah, the name definitely doesn't give you any idea what you're going in for. Alright, but yeah, that's pretty much wraps us up. This has been Season 2, Episode 1, aka Episode 13 of Into the Ashwell. The episode title is Silent Eyes. Because they were watching you. But with that, I hope some of you will join us for next session.
Forever silent.
Some of them, but the paintings are still there. And the reflection. But yes, it's been fun. I'm glad that for the folks that came out and chat and hung out for a bit. Thank you. It's appreciated. This has been the first time we tried to do any streaming, and I'm sorry I wasn't very interactive, but it's a lot to try to do when you're DMing and everything else right now. Just being the first time, it's a bit much. Getting things set up we were a little bit late, but I'm glad I think it all came out pretty well in the end. I had fun. We will be doing this again next month, and I hope to see more people come in. If you're interested in joining the game, you can get to me on Twitter at FirebringerAxel, as it says under my name. There's a Discord server where we do all the scheduling and everything for the game, where you can get your characters, because they are all pre-gens. None of the players built their own characters for this, which a lot of players are very wary of. I like to think that I inject just enough character into each character before I give them to them to build off of. But we'll be doing this again next month, as I said. I hope some people will join us. We are always looking for more random people that want to do stupid shit for us. And until then, keep your torches lit, delve deep, and keep rolling. Bye!